Horror mic gets me hot.
Hey, Zombo, I would do anything to be on your show.
Ooh, anything?
Anything, except eat a bug.
Anything else?
Anything else.
Anything?
Anything.
Ooh, how about taking some acting lessons?
Deadly virus has been unleashed into an underground nightclub. Now, every man's fantasy
You either got it or you don't, baby.
is about to become their worst nightmare.
They're zombies.
No. They're strippers. They're zombie strippers.
Robert Englund and Jenna Jameson,
For my sake, suck it up.
zombie strippers.
I'm looking for my younger sister. She went out jogging 2 nights ago before dinner and never came back.
All the other girls were residents there. The Mary Magdalene halfway house for troubled girls.
Young women are being harmed in some way, and representatives of the Catholic Church are somehow trying to cover it up.
Once I'm inside, undercover, I'll find out what's going on.
I just happen to be the #1 bitch around here.
I don't know what the fuck is going on here. Everything looks suspicious as hell.
From her, you bitch! I cast you out!
You can't destroy the world for your own selfish reasons!
Listen to William Castle, whom the Saturday Evening Post calls the master of movie horror.
Do you believe in ghosts? I do. And you will too. When you come to this theater and see my picture, 13 Ghosts. No more dictation today. When you see 13 ghosts, you'll be given a supernatural viewer like this, which will enable you to penetrate for the first time into the spirit world. It will let you see all 13 of our weird, wonderful, and wildly assorted ghosts.
Now, brace yourself as we take you across the threshold of our haunted mansion, where there's a ghost for everyone in the family. Father, mother, sister, brother. You'll be scared stiff too when you see what they see. 13 ghosts, materializing in ectoplasmic color through the magic of Illusiono, the Ghost Viewer. the ghost of a lion in the basement. The ghost of a murderous cook in the kitchen.
Stop it! Stop it, I say!
The ghost who speaks through the lips of the living.
Death tonight. To one of you.
Ah! The evil ghost in the bedroom, fighting to take possession of this beautiful girl. You'll feel all the thrills and chills of seeing one ghost multiplied by the magic number 13.
Good evening, folks, and welcome to Horror Mike's Friday Night Spectacular. And boy, do we have a show for you tonight. Yes, indeed. Of course, as you are probably well aware, my very special guest tonight is none other than Captain Strangeliffe. And the good captain is going to have an amazing show this Sunday night at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Okay, that's 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you will not want to miss it. We're going to talk about that show. We're going to look at some movies. All of those trailers that you just saw are movies that are on Tubi. So we're going to be taking a closer look at those, plus some others that I think will blow your mind that you're going to want to see on Tubi. We're also going to take a little trip over to Bud's Art Books, Bud Plant, because he has added a few great items that I think you're going to want to check out. And yes, folks, it is Friday night. And without further ado, let me introduce to you Captain Strangeliffe. I'm going to add him right now.
How's everybody doing?
Hello, Captain. How are you doing?
Not bad. It's good to be here.
Good. Yes. Thank you very much for joining me on the show tonight. Hey, look, we got matching shirts, folks.
Yeah. I just
there it is.
The shirts not too long ago.
The good captain just sent me the shirt, and this is the large, Captain, just to let you know.
Oh, yeah. It fits you all right.
Check that out, folks. And you could win one of these beauties Sunday. Okay. Yeah. That's just one of the many prizes that you could win on Captain Strangelife's very special live show Sunday night.
I got to get rid of it. I got so much stuff back here. I don't have any room for anything.
Now we're going to go ahead and check out who's in the chat. I know we got a few comments. Matter of fact, we got like 20 comments. Okay, let's check it out. Good God. Michael Taylor is on the scene. Hello, Michael Taylor. How you doing? Daniel Ring says, the 4D man, indeed. I love that. I don't know. Have you seen that film, Captain? The 4D man?
No, I haven't seen
Robert Lansing. It is quite good. It's like kind of like a sci-fi horror film with a jazz soundtrack. Let's just put it that way. And it's pretty damn cool. It's kind of like a lounge jazz soundtrack to it.
What decade is that from?
It is of the 60s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. As a matter of fact,
wasn't there one called a 3D man?
I'm sorry. That 4D man was 1959.
59.
So yeah, just missed the 60s there. But it's really quite a film.
It looks like it, yeah.
Robert Lansing in the starring role. But in any case, let me get back to the comments here.
Mm-hmm.
Good God, we've got quite a few. Eric says, hello, one and all, to the bestest ever Friday night show on YouTube. Well, good Lord, Eric, thank you for that high praise, sir, and good evening to you. Eric says, good God, great to see you, Horror Mike. Great to see you as well. Gary Carlisle is on the scene. Hello, Gary. How you doing? Daniel says, love me some Paul Frees indeed. And who doesn't? Captain, who is simultaneously with us here, and he's also in the chat. It's incredible. Greetings, Captain. Eric says, don't forget to smash that like button. Good Lord. Thank you, Eric.
Smash it so
Eric,
it doesn't work.
Eric says, greetings, Captain Strangeliffe, comics and collectibles. Werewolf by Lunchtime is here. Now, Captain Werewolf by Lunchtime is our, well, so far, singular Australian viewer. So for him, this is a breakfast show, you know, because he's like 12 hours in the future. And I keep asking him about stock tips, you know, since he is 12 hours in the future. Werewolf by Lunchtime says, I was going to have an early night last night, but came home to mother and brother-in-law drinking wine in the garden. 7 hours later, where are my keys? Indeed, that's going to happen, Werewolf by Lunchtime. Good God, man. Eric says, don't cry over spilt milk, lady. Good Lord. Okay, there we go. Gotham City Comics is here. Hey, Gotham City.
Kevin, how are you doing?
Excellent, excellent. Werewolf by Lunchtime says the first person I subbed on YouTube was Cap. Indeed. And he was probably one of the first I did. And I was talking to the captain about this a few weeks ago. And I've been watching his channel for at least, I want to go back to 2016. So it's been at least 7 years, watching your channel. And eventually it was one of the inspirations for Haunted Thrills, my documentary, because of course, obviously you did those great videos on the Atom Age pre-code horror and sci-fi comics, God, man, at that time, it was like I was gearing up. And what eventually happened is in 2018, we started filming Witch Tales. And of course, Witch Tales is based upon those Atom Age horror comics. So that was the first step. And then after that film, I was like, look, I gotta make a documentary about these incredible comic books. And the ones, of course, there are EC documentaries,
right?
But not much on the non-EC stuff. So that's Haunted Thrills is just non-EC, pretty much. Although I do mention EC and, of course, the rather hilarious, the testimony of William Gaines during
well, everybody knows he must have been on drugs, and he probably was.
I think so. I do believe so.
Witch Tales, they're so good. I got 3 copies.
Good God, folks,
and there's one over here that's going to be given away with some T-shirts.
It's one thing to have 1 copy, but when you have 3, now that's the sign of quality. And Witch Tales, good God, for a $9,000 budget film shot in Peru.
Sign of addiction.
Yeah, it's a sign of addiction. Yeah. Okay, let's take a look here. Daniel Ring. Hello, everyone. Hello, Daniel. Gary Carlisle. Hello, Captain. There he is saying. Michael Taylor is saying, hi, Cap. I must have been a viewer of Captain's channel 9+ years now. Going back. Eric says, if you didn't see this in the show notes, here is the link to Captain Strangelife's YouTube channel. Thank you, Eric. I was going to post that. You beat me to it. Thank you, sir. That's excellent. And folks, go click that link now. Go and subscribe. You're not going to want to miss Sunday's show. Now, there is one thing I want to mention here. We were talking about this too, and that's the deadline to send you an email, Captain.
Right.
Are you saying that's tonight at midnight?
Yeah, tonight at midnight is the last opportunity. If you want to get into the raffle, just go to my last video and email me. My email address is there. Just email me with your YouTube channel, and then you're in.
Okay, there you go, folks. Simply go to the Captain's YouTube channel, and in the last video, he's got the email address that you simply send the email, and that's along with your YouTube handle, right?
Yeah.
That's the idea there,
Right.
to get entered. But up until midnight tonight, folks, and that's it. It's so I would say take care of business now. Get on over there and send that email to the captain to be entered for some amazing prizes. I know some of you guys have been watching Captain Strangelife's videos over the last week or two. He's been showing, I think there are a total of 5 different sets of prizes.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's 5. I showed them on my channel. You want me to show?
Right,
them?
right. And we're actually, I've got it, and we can show it tonight as well. You know, I've got it on the video. But this ranges from, there's at least one Golden Age comic. Now it's kind of like, as I recall, a humor comic book from the 40s. And it's, I mean, that caught my eye. There it is right there. Barnyard Comics, folks.
It's got
from
1947. It's got a Frank Frazetta illustration in here.
Ooh, Frazetta illustration in Barnyard Comics, folks.
But it's kind of it's a little bit low grade. I decided to throw it in with the rest of the books. You know, Neil Adams' signature on Strange Adventures.
And that's in the same prize group?
Yeah.
Man, folks. And is that Dead Man with his signature?
This one is, Strange Adventures, number 210, and it's signed by Neil Adams.
Signed by Neil Adams. That is in the same prize group with Barnyard Funnies, folks. I mean, with Frank Frazetta art in that. It's just incredible. Exciting stuff, Captain. Gary Carlisle says 4D Man was great. I concur. Lead Paint is here. Hello, Lead Paint. How you doing?
Where's I thought Hotel Orloff was here. I just saw him.
Yes, he is. We're getting
there
to him. Yeah, we just got clobbered with a ton of greetings here.
And you said Gotham City was here? I can't find him.
Yeah, Gotham City is here. He's up a ways. Here he is.
Oh, no kidding.
Saying hello, everybody.
Well, I'm trying to look.
Fantastic to see Gotham City in there.
Maybe I'm getting way ahead of myself.
Robert Presto says, Captain Strangelife sent me here. Good God, that's awesome. Robert Presto.
You know,
glad to see you on the show.
I think he's been following my channel for about 10 years, man.
Wow.
Presto. Yeah.
Wow. Fantastic. Folks, the clips that we got for you on Sunday night, you are going to love. Captain and I have been going through all of his videos and pulling clips from various shows, going all the way back to episode 1. And this is stuff that you will not want to miss.
2009.
2009, folks. Yeah. 14 years of Captain Strangelife, over 500 videos. I think I'm maybe at like 190 or something like that. I got a lot of catching up to do.
Hotel Orloff's got over 800.
Holy Toledo. And speaking of Hotel Orloff, there he is. Hello, Gratu. How are you doing? Good to see you, man. Oh boy, here we go. We got even more. Let's see here. Eric Boyd saying his hellos. Hotel Orloff. Eric says Horror Mike's Witch Tales on Blu-ray can be purchased via eBay here. Now, folks, you can win a copy Sunday night on Captain Strangelife's channel, but I got to tell you, what I'm holding right here in my hands are 1, 2, 3, 4 copies. These are the last copies of Witch Tales, signed and numbered. That's it. Out of the 300, once these are sold, they're gone. So there you go, folks. Only 4 left. You can also get a fabulous combo of Witch Tales and First Man on Mars on eBay. And so that is there. But after
under $15, right?
Yes, for $12.95 for both.
That's an incredible deal, and
12.95.
I'm going to give 2 of them away with a T-shirt on Sunday night.
And there you go. Yep, Captain's got both Witch Tales and First Man on Mars, plus one of these fabulous T-shirts. Check that out, folks. Come on now. I mean, this is just, it's one of the best shirts I've seen in a long time. You know, quite nice indeed.
These damn things can get expensive, man. You know, the higher quality you go, the more expensive they get, man.
Now, also too, obviously, folks, you can win one Sunday night. I think you're planning on selling some too, right, Captain?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to order some more, and then I'll probably sell. You know, and let people know what I could sell them for. I think I pay like $23. I got the receipt. I show the receipt, you know, and
yeah,
so that people know what I paid for it. And then I think there's like $5.65 to ship it, and then I don't make nothing on it, you know.
Right.
Probably sell it for $30 and make
$30 plus shipping. Yeah.
Well,
I mean, that's
like that. I got to figure it out yet, but
that's it's reasonable. These shirts are high quality, folks. I mean, I can tell you firsthand, this is like a much better fabric than your typical T-shirt.
it is.
Yeah, it is just fantastic.
They're nice, and they fit nice, and they're nice and cool, and
yes,
fabric is really comfortable.
Yeah, it is fantastic. Great shirt. Okay, let's take a look here. Michael Taylor says you need more than one for you different personality. Not quite sure what that is, but okay, Apex Comics is here. Hello, Apex. How you doing? He is saying his greetings. Gary Carlisle's here. Loved your pea soup from your last video. The pea soup. Yes.
That was something. That
was hilarious.
Oh
my God.
My last video, I had a fly on my face, like Hillary Clinton when she was doing the debate with Donald Trump, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was classic.
By the way, I murdered that fly, and it no longer exists to torture me.
Oh, good. Well,
hopefully all over the place in the last video.
Hopefully it didn't leave any offspring. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Those
no.
damn flies, they breed like flies. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's gone. It's
Michael.
What?
Michael Taylor says, yeah, he's giving away Adams. Yeah, Neil Adams signed book. I mean, that is incredible. Geez, man. Neil Adams, one of the greats. There's no doubt about it. Meyer Greenblatt is on the scene. Hello, Meyer Greenblatt. Good to see you. Eric says, oh, wow. Well, yeah, and you should, because this is certainly a wow type of show that we have tonight. And one thing that I didn't mention to the good captain is that we're going to take before we take a look at the films, we are going to take a little trip over to Bud's art books, aka Bud Plant, because he's got a few new arrivals that I think we're all going to want to check out. I always love looking at his new arrival stuff. It's just fantastic.
I bought my Barry Smith posters from him back in the 70s.
Yeah. Well, and there we go, Captain. Yeah, I can tell you, circa 1978, I was a teenager. I went to IguanaCon in Phoenix, Arizona, and that was a World Science Fiction Convention.
Yeah.
And Harlan Ellison was the guest of honor. And Bud Plant was there. He was in the dealer's room. And I snagged an issue. Now, I'm like, I don't know, 15 at this time. And I somehow snagged an issue of Metal Hurlant from him because he was the distributor for Metal Hurlant before, of course, the Americans, National Lampoon publishers picked it up and it became Heavy Metal magazine. It was Metal Hurlant, in French. But I saw that Corbin stuff and Metal Hurlant. I was like, holy, what the hell is this? I got to get it. And of course, it's technically for it at the time. It was like for adults only. That's what it said on it. But Bud Plant, bless his soul, he let me get a copy. And from then on, that was 78. I was buying stuff. I've been buying stuff from him ever since.
You still have that copy?
I do not. That is, oh God, many moons ago. Although I still have, I would say about a good 25 copies of Metal Hurlant and about 50 copies of heavy metal,
Yeah.
And it's just, it's great stuff. But Bud Plant he always had the catalogs too.
Yeah.
Did you ever get the physical catalogs in the mail back in the day?
Yeah,
fantastic. Sure. And he's still doing it. He's the only guy that had it. Well, except for there's another place I get stuff from in California. They have their comics too. Geez, I'm drawing a blank right now, but they put out their own catalogs and their physical catalogs. I'm amazed because most people, 99% of dealers have dropped the physical catalogs,
I think Gary Dolgoff was still doing some catalogs up until a while ago.
Oh, wow.
He was one of the original comic book dealers. Him and Howard Rogowski. Back in
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, well, I don't have any of the original Bud Plant catalogs, although I do still remember them fondly. However, I do have 5 or 6 of the newer ones. And it's almost like something you can collect as well,
Yeah.
Bud Plant through the years, that type of thing.
I think I still have 1 or 2 of his catalogs somewhere. But I'm going to be going through a lot of boxes in the next couple of months after I get my furnace installed. And I'll probably find a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah, those Bud Plant, those original. I haven't even dared to look at eBay. I bet you people sell them on eBay.
Probably,
some of those original. God, I was just looking at Comic Reader. Remember that?
Yeah, I got a small collection of maybe 30 or 40.
Wow. Nice. Yeah, some of those from back in the 60s demand a pretty penny.
Yeah, they're getting expensive too.
Yeah, as well, of course, as certain issues of Foom.
Man. Yeah, I don't see how that can be so expensive, but man, it is.
Yeah, a few of those, I can't even believe it, man. I was looking at, I think it's issue number 10, and that is the issue where apparently it was the real first appearance of the X-Men, a couple of characters of the X-Men.
From the new X-Men, you mean?
No, well, this was 1975.
So it had to be the new X-Men then.
I guess so. I guess the new X-Men, I suppose. But they've got them going for like 1,000 plus.
Whoa!
I'm not kidding you.
Unbelievable.
I'm not kidding, man.
No wonder people are leaving the hobby.
Yeah, that is just insane. But Gotham City is here. He's still here. Werewolf by Lunchtime. If I
we got Tony, why not art? Oh, you'll get to that.
Yes, I'm getting there. Yeah. Werewolf says, if I win, I will prize tag anyone that knows what Cod Row is. Okay. Fair enough, Werewolf. Good God.
Well, we're going to look it up right now.
Apex says, I have 650 videos. Good Lord, Apex. Holy Toledo, man. That's a lot of videos. Robert Presto says, if you're on the East Coast like me, tune in to Captain Strangelife Sunday night at 7 p.m. NYC time or Florida time, Robert Presto, which is where I'm at, and it's the same, EST, 7 p.m. Be there or be square, okay?
Wolfman Jack always said that, right?
Yes. Oh, God, Wolfman Jack. What was he? He was on the Midnight Special.
Yeah.
Right? That show, God. Incredible. There are still some episodes of the Midnight Special, of course, on YouTube. I've seen a few of them with Wolfman on there. Lead Paint says, make sure you grab the clip of the good captain casually flipping through Amazing Fantasy 15 like he just bought it on New Comic Day. Michael Taylor says, Robert, I'm on the East Coast as well. Werewolf says he probably did buy it on New Comic Day. Lead Paint. Lol.
No.
Yeah. Eric says, here is the link for Horror Mike's. Oh, First Man on Mars and Witch Tales Blu-ray combo. Thank you, Eric, for that plug. My good man. I appreciate it. Lead Paint. Ha! No shit, Werewolf. There he goes. Michael Taylor says, Mike, I was kidding. I meant one movie for each personality. Okay. All righty. Apex says, just purchased Witch Tales and First Man on Mars combo pack. Apex, thank you, sir. My God. And I know you're going to dig the hell out of it. As a matter of fact, we've talked about these things before. First Man on Mars is just, it's really nuts. It is something that I got to tell you, it's one of those things, and Troma loved it. I was shopping the film, and I'd sent a screener to Troma and never heard back from him. I was like, oh, crap. And this was like 2 months later after I sent the screener. I was like, well, they're just not interested. Then this other company contacted me, and that was Tomcat Films / Summerhill Films, and we signed a contract. So they carried the film in distribution. And then like 2 weeks later, Troma contacts me and they're like, oh, we love it. We'd love to carry it on the Troma. We'd love to make it a Troma film. And I'm like, yeah, well, you're a little late, suckers.
Late now, yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, God, Jesus. I was really hoping Troma, you know.
Yeah.
But what can you say?
It's a shame, you know, but that's what happens.
That's the way it goes. Why Not Art 70? Hi, Mike. Hi, Hans. Hello, Why Not Art 70? How are you doing? Good to see you.
That's Tony. He's Tony. An artist. He's an artist himself.
Oh, excellent. Excellent. And also, folks, Apex Comics is an artist as well. He's got Fembat. Yeah, he does indie comics. He's got Fembat, and he's currently working on a comic book called The Creep, which is great. It is really, I mean, that's the type of stuff I really dig. It's got a certain underground feel to it, and it's hilarious, man. I have seen some pages of it, and it's really quite good.
Is that with an S or a P? Creep or Creeps?
The Creep, singular.
Okay.
Yes. Werewolf by Lunchtime says Barry Windsor Smith bookmarks are up for auction on my comics shop at the moment. Signed from the 1970s. Wow, Barry Windsor Smith bookmarks. Holy Toledo. Yeah, of course, we know My Comic Shop. They have their weekly auctions. And, man, they get some great stuff in there. Holy Toledo, you know. It's Larry Saunders, right? That's Larry Saunders from Lone Star Comics.
Yeah, it's Buddy Saunders.
Buddy Saunders, sorry.
Yeah.
Buddy Saunders. Great guy. I met him in 2015. I went to a film festival in Texas. It was you know who Joe Lansdale is?
Yeah.
Writer, horror writer. Right.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a festival that he's part of. And what happened is I had made a short film based upon one of his short stories called By the Hair of the Head, which is coming out soon, folks. It's going to be available on Amazon for rent. But in any case, Larry Saunders was there. And it was great meeting him. That guy is so totally cool, man. Just really a great chap, you know. And I always loved Lone Star Comics.
He's been around a long time, too.
He has been around. He's, you know, I think it probably around, I think both Larry Saunders,
Buddy Saunders.
Buddy Saunders. Why do I keep saying Larry? What the hell? Buddy Saunders and Bud Plant, two Buds, right there, have been around since the late '60s. You know, or maybe I know actually, shit. But Buddy Saunders had that. What was the great fanzine he did? I've got some copies of it. Star-Studded Comics. You ever see that fanzine? It's fantastic. Came out in the early 60s. And that was the launch of Dr. Weird, which would eventually be published. Of course, Jim Starlin, the mighty Jim Starlin, came out with 2 issues of Dr. Weird, 1970, 1972, that he drew them, he inked them, penciled and inked. And that was his first comic book. That was Jim Starlin's first comic book. And the first issue was written by George R.R. Martin. I've got that issue. And it's great, man. Really a hell of a thing. Classic.
Can't believe they're selling the Windsor Smith bookmarks.
Yeah, that is. I didn't even know he signed bookmarks.
I got several of his limited edition prints that came out in mid '70s from Blue Star, and he signed them and numbered them.
Yeah, and he also was part of that portfolio from the comic book. What was it? Shit, the comic book portfolio that featured Bern Hogarth, Barry Windsor Smith, Al Williamson, Wally Wood. They're all signed and numbered prints from each artist, and there was like 16 of them in one portfolio. And I want to say it was like the National Comic Arts Association. They put out this portfolio. Fantastic. But Barry Windsor Smith, of course, and I'm actually going to show a little Barry Windsor Smith. I got a special comic book in the mail about a week ago, and it's all Barry Windsor Smith. But first off, Apex says order number. Fantastic. Thank you, Apex. That is beautiful. And folks, what I'm going to do here, give me a second, because I am going to, I believe, I think that Apex, who deserves to be a moderator, is not. So I am going to, oh no, he is. He's wrenched. Okay, Apex, make sure that you put your links in for your stuff, where people can find your comic books, and that would be fantastic. Okay. Daniel Ring says, already pre-ordered my copies of Den. Wait a second. What, they're coming out with new Den comics? That's interesting. Werewolf by Lunchtime says, Mike spent 10 minutes commenting on, oh, wow, going to be a long night morning. Yes, indeed. We're still on the comments, folks, and we're not even close. I love it, though. I love a lively chat. It's just great. Great stuff. Apex says, ooh, Barry Windsor Smith bookmarks. Gotta love those. Yeah, God, man. I've got to go over to my comic shop and check it out. Good Lord. Apex says, I need a new Bud Plant catalog. Yes. And of course, with Bud Plant, we're going to go over there shortly, but you can get the physical catalog. And of course, you can always download the catalog free on PDF, which is, I sometimes just do that in lieu of getting the physical copy. And he's got a new one, and it's got an awesome pulp covers. It's like 4 different pulp covers on the cover of the new catalog. Really nice stuff. Werewolf says, I'm watching those, Apex. Yeah, man. I can only imagine what those are going to go for. Oh my God. Signed Barry Windsor Smith bookmarks. Holy Toledo. Eric says you can also get physical catalogs from SQP art books here. Ah, excellent. There's SQP art books. Thank you, Eric, for that linky. Why Not Art 70 says Gary Dolgarth is definitely still active in comics. I saw him this year at the Big Apple Con in New York. Excellent. Apex says, I have a couple of comic readers. I have a Jack Kirby Foom issue. Excellent. Man, I have neither. I used to have, back in the 70s, I had several issues, probably 10 issues maybe, of comic reader. And I think they were all 70s issues. Loved them. Loved that little magazine. Just fantastic. Michael Taylor says, Mike, I think I heard that as well. Some people think that the new X-Men first appearance was in Foom. Yeah, it was something. It may have been just a character first appearance or something, but it's something that makes that Foom really, I mean, I guess really expensive. Insane. Apex says X-Men #1 premiered September of 1963. Yes. Yes, indeed. God. And if you guys watched, any of you guys watched my latest video on the, no, I got to show it. I'm just going to have to show it real quick. I don't get many action figures, but I got the Iron Man Model 01.
Yeah, look at that from
brand new from Hasbro this year.
From Tales of Suspense 39, isn't it?
From Tales of Suspense 39. Cover by Jack Kirby, interior art by Don Heck. And they really did a great job with this. It's really, you know, I mean, yeah, I've heard some, you know, I don't know, pros and cons about Hasbro recently, but man, they knocked it out of the park with this particular action figure. And if you haven't seen the video, you can check it out on my channel where I go into detail on it and show you all the articulation and the accessories and so forth. But it's a hell of an action figure. And it's just one of those things. I love the old school Marvel, like the early 60s stuff. Fantastic Four, the way that they originally looked. The original Spider-Man, Steve Ditko. I loved that stuff.
All that stuff was fun to read. They made those comics at that time fun to read. Today, it's not that much. It's not much fun for me anymore. That's why I don't collect the newer stuff.
Yeah, and I agree totally. It is rare. It is extremely rare that a new comic book catches my eye. But, you know, you had the Hulk, the original Hulk stuff, Kirby, once again, the original X-Men.
Yeah.
All of that stuff is just, and then you look at the you know, Tales of Suspense #39, the original Iron Man in that suit. And that's the one thing I loved about the film Iron Man, the first film with Robert Downey Jr. As Tony Stark. That is one of the greatest Marvel adaptations ever made, because they took Tales of Suspense 39 and they basically adapted it to the movie. A large portion of that, they just switched it, of course, from I think it was Vietnam, where he's captured by communists.
Right, they updated it a little bit.
Yeah, to Afghanistan, to war-torn Afghanistan.
Yeah,
but that's it. It's the concept, you know. It's the whole thing, and with no BS. That film is just like, it's adrenaline-filled entertainment, and it's one of those films. Once I did this video, and I've got, I talk about that film and compare it to Tales of Suspense, and show a little clip from the Iron Man film in it. it started. I don't have that on physical media. I got to get that film because it's really one of my favorites. You know, man, I could live without the other two, Iron Man 2 and 3. I was like, come on, man. You know, but the first one was brilliant. And yeah, I just love that film. Robert Downey Jr., Tony Stark, they nailed it. They just freaking nailed it with that guy. Let's see here. Where are we? Good Lord. Yeah.
Got lost.
I did get lost. Michael Taylor says, Mike, I think I heard that as well. Some people think that the new X-Men. Oh, that was okay. I already read that. Jeez Louise. Here we go. Eric says, please subscribe to Apex Comics YouTube channel there. Folks, mosey on over and give that a sub to Apex. I am so looking forward to having the creep in my hairy little palms. Oh, God.
He must have been drinking Bela Lugosi's formula that turns him into an ape and his hands get all hairy.
Yes, indeed.
I'm feeling all sorry.
Was there ever a character called Hairy Palms? Like in a...
I don't know, but that would be good. That sounds good. You should have one. You should have a character like that in your next film.
I think so. I think that's the way to go. Apex says, thanks, Horror Mike. I still have the Creep and Enforcer ink on file for completion. Excellent, Apex. Good to hear it. Looking forward to it. Why Not Art 70 says, I have a horror fanzine coming out in October.
No kidding.
That's awesome news. My daughter has a drawing in the issue. I'll inform everyone when it's all ready to go. That's fantastic.
That is cool.
Why Not Art
Very
70?
nice.
That's beautiful. And hey, look, man.
I had no idea.
Yeah. Are you still looking? Why Not Art 70? Are you, pardon me, are you still looking for contributors at all? Like, for instance, for people to write an article or contribute artwork? Is there a website or a link we can go to, I don't know, see progress on it? That would be fantastic. Horror fanzines. Holy Toledo, man. That was like back in the day, 70s and 80s. Oh my God. It was just like horror fanzine heaven. No doubt about that. It's always great to hear that people are still doing it.
Come out in October in time for Halloween.
It's perfect. Perfect timing. PBR Street Gang is here. PBR Street Gang, yes. Hey, well, remember we were talking about, you had mentioned something about zombie strippers versus zombie cheerleaders, PBR Street Gang. Well, tonight we're going to take a look at that. Oh, yes, folks, because guess what's on Tubi? There's no doubt about that. We are taking a look at, zombie strippers, okay, on Tubi. And that's going to be a hoot. Jacob Boranowski is here. Hello, Jacob. How are you doing? I finally made it. Good God, man. Good to see you, Jacob. Excellent. Why Not Art 70 says, Star-Studded is awesome. I have a couple of issues. I was into it because of Grass Green. But it's all good. Yeah, Grass Green, man. You had, Keltner, Howard Keltner, who was the original Dr. Weird artist. And he did a lot of art for Star-Studded Comics in the early 60s. And Grass Green was also another art. I think Grass Green, Howard Keltner, Buddy Saunders, and another chap. There were 4 guys that started up the Star-Studded Comics fanzine. And I just love it, man. I love it. I've got a couple of the original issues. And of course, I've got both issues of the Dr. Weird, Jim Starlin, George R.R. Martin from 1972. And they're fantastic. Daniel Ring says, I just purchased my copy of Witch Tales and First Man on Mars combo as well. Thank you, Daniel. I appreciate it, man. That's fantastic. Good Lord. Well, guess what, folks? That means one thing. That means one thing. Apparently, we're down to 2 copies of Witch Tales. That's it. I've got 2 copies left. Unless I've got 2 copies that I've kept for myself. I may pull one of those out of the reserve if need be. But technically, there's 2 copies left. So there you go. But thank you, Daniel.
Get them before they're gone.
Yeah. They're it is the Halloween season. We're in it. It's just starting up now. We're starting to see stuff at the stores. I love it. I've gone into, for instance, I went into Dollar Tree. You never know what they're going to carry in the Dollar Tree, as far as Halloween stuff goes.
Yeah.
But they've got some good stuff.
I try to make it there every week.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And they're one of the first chain stores to get Halloween stuff on the shelves. I mean, they're on it. They don't mess around. I really dig them. Apex says Dr. Weird is cool. I love Jim Starlin's old art. I have a reprint. It is fantastic. And it's great. I've got a reprint as well. And thank God that they reprinted that. And I think it was Big Bang Comics. And also, just to let you guys know, they are carrying on Dr. Weird in Big Bang Comics. I've got an issue. I forget who's drawing it, but the artist is really good. And they're another one. The captain and I were talking about kind of like old school style comic books today. And there are 2 companies that I know of as far as, just your main kind of mainstream. I would say Big Bang Comics as far as indie goes. They're well known. And we were talking. I'm drawn. Alterna Comics.
Alterna. Yeah.
I told you about Wolf and Batsy.
They're like $1.99 or something.
$2.99. I'm gonna, as a matter of fact, yeah, check it out. Let me just grab one real quick.
Yeah, let's see it.
Here we go. Check that. I'm going to close that. There we go. This is Wolf and Batsy. And as you can see there, the cover price, $1.99 from Alterna Comics.
Open it up. Let's see the newsprint. Is that it's newsprint, right?
Well, it's a quasi.
A little higher quality, right?
Yes, slightly, but it feels not like newsprint. Now Wolf and Batsy's all black and white. But Alterna Comics also has color comics. Same $1.99. It's just that the artist, Brian Baugh, does all of Wolf and Batsy in black and white on the interiors. And it's great.
Looks
really
great.
Cool.
It's great art.
It's great art, and it's no BS.
It's glorious black and white. The detail is all there.
It's beautifully unwoke.
It's not diluted, from colors and heavy inks. It's
he's really quite an artist. Not only that, but check this out, man. He does it. He is a big fan, as we all are, of Warren Comics and the Captain. What was it? The novelty ads at Captain Company. So he's got Captain Bloodclot's famous novelties in the back, and they're just like fake old ads. for all kinds of weird stuff that, of course, you can't actually buy. But really great parody of the Captain Company stuff. So Wolf and Batsy, folks, alternacomics.com. Highly recommended.
The Captain Company. I always remember the Johnson Smith Company.
Yeah, it was Captain. Well, it was Famous Monsters. It may have changed. Maybe it changed into Captain Company, but
yeah.
But in any case, they had the great, novelties and stuff that you could get. Oh, it was fantastic. I mean, but when you're a kid, like, man, I don't know about you, but like in the 70s, I'm reading like Famous Monsters. And they have the masks, and they're great, like the Creature from the Black Lagoon, and all of those, man. And they're like $40, in the 70s. Now, that's like $200 a day. Wow. I mean, I'm not kidding. I never could get one. Never could get one of the. I mean, I got like the cheaper stuff that they had. I think I had a Shock Monster mask, which was like they had a cheap alternative Shock Monster that didn't have hair on it, but it looked like the Shock Monster. And it was like $5 or something. It's stuff like that, and of course,
ads. I just gravitated to all the ads in the comics and in the black and white magazines. That was one of the first things that I always went for, because I was fascinated by that.
Yes, and I love the fact that PS Art Books, like when they do their reprints of all the pre-code comic books, everything is kept in there. They have all of the original ads from all of those pre-code horror comics. And some of those ads are insane, man. I mean, they're just wonderful to read, It's just great stuff. I love PS Art Books. They've done a great job with the reprints.
I pick up a lot of those books at half-price books, and so it's and there's we don't have an Ollie's around here, but we got half-price books, so I get some great deals on those PS Art Books.
Yeah, because they can be expensive, and they've also gone up in price.
Oh, wow.
I was shocked to see on Bud's Art Books. I mean, they've got the hardcovers now of those volumes are $60, which is
That's a lot of money. They were. Well, I thought they were expensive at $40 and $50. Now it's $60.
Now it's $60. Right.
Wow.
And the I believe the soft covers are like 25 or 30. 30 for a sec. I'm like, man, I wait for a sale. Let's put it that way. And
at those prices, you have to.
You got to. It's really. I know that they put a lot into those things.
Yeah.
But man, it would drive one to the poorhouse. I'm telling you. Buying them at retail. Good Lord. Michael Taylor says, I've noticed if you don't put a period at the end of your sentence, autospell might screw up your spelling, and it does. Oh, it does. All right. I've seen that. I've been witness to that many a time. Why Not Art 70 says, I'll be in touch with you, Apex Comics. I'm interested in checking out your art as well, my friend. Excellent. Fantastic. Apex says, thanks. I appreciate your interest in my art. Why not? Excellent. We're bringing publishers and artists together tonight, Captain. It's a wonderful thing. PBR Street Gang says, just watched Maniac Cop on Tubi. It's shows like that keep my faith in the thin blue line. Yes, PBR. I agree totally. Werewolf by Lunchtime. You probably need a moderator in a foreign country. Oh, I see. Yes, I get where you're coming from, Werewolf. And okay, and Australian moderator, is that even Is that a wise thing? Really, I think it is. There's werewolf. Let's do it. There we go. All right. Good Lord. And here's Apex. Subscribe to my channel. That is Apex Comics channel. Folks, mosey on over there and subscribe. You're going to dig it. Werewolf says, I premiered in May of 1971, but I'm probably only a 5.0 now. Spine trouble, restoration, torn edges, etc. There. Oh, that is great. That is excellent. Apex says Apex Comics Cavalcade Ashcan and Apex Comics Golden Age mini comic set, $10 each post-paid, or 2 for $20 post-paid with bonus gift. There you go, folks. And there's the PayPal me right there for Apex Graphics. Excellent. Gary says, I suspect fantastic. And I trust that everybody here that's watching the show right now has already subscribed to Captain Strangeliffe. I mean, come on, man. Yeah, get over there and do it if you haven't already. And then also
get into the raffle.
I'm sorry,
no,
Captain.
They can get into the raffle that way,
and they can get into the raffle if you subscribe and you send them an email. And because tonight, folks, midnight is the deadline to get in this fabulous raffle, which is happening Sunday night. 5 times. There are 5 times that you could win. Okay. And he's got 5 different prize packages. Absolutely fantastic. And they're all just stunning, especially the one with those films, Witch Tales and First Man on Mars. There you go, right there, folks. And one of the
look at all the reviews, rave reviews,
and also you get Captain Strangeliffe freaking t-shirt right there, folks. I mean, come on. This is just it's too cool for school, what I'm saying. Michael Taylor says, Mike, very cool Iron Man. I like his original armor. It was gold for a short time after. Yeah, that was the thing. He originally, this is it. This is the guy in, that classic Kirby cover for Strange. God, what I keep
Tales of Suspense.
Thank you. Tales of Suspense number 39 by Kirby, and of course the Don Heck art on the interior.
Yeah.
I personally wished it was all Kirby, to tell you the truth, but such is life. Kirby could only do so much. I mean, geez Louise, he was just, that dude was probably, he might have been the hardest working comic book artist in history. I don't know how he did it. Seriously. I mean, the guy was just insane. Doing all the comic books, and then he was doing all of these posters, those just insane freaking, the posters that he did a little later on.
And he did some of the blacklight posters.
Yes. Amazing stuff. The guy was just constantly doing.
One of the gods of Asgard.
Yeah, there it is.
One of the gods of Asgard.
Yeah, and those original blacklight posters, of course, well, they bring a pretty penny. Needless to say, those are pretty hot. Eric says, don't forget that like button is feeling lonely. Come on, folks, hit that like, smash it. It needs some loving and licking with your mouse. Click on it. Good God, man. Apex says, I love that Iron Man figure, Horror Mike. Indeed. I have Iron Man 2008 on DVD. That I got to do that. I got to get it. I don't know why I put that off, but I'm getting it soon. Jacob says, Apex, I've been going back and getting all of the Phase 1 Marvel movies. Phase 1. There's the key, folks. And I believe Now, wouldn't Sam Raimi's Spider-Man be part of the Marvel Phase 1? Those first 3 that Sam Raimi did. I think so.
Should be.
Yeah. And well, at least the first 2 of those.
Now what we're in Phase 5.
I don't even. It's like phase. I don't give a crap.
Yeah.
It's just bad. But Phase 1 was magical. It was.
Yeah.
The first 2 Spider-Mans from Sam Raimi, I just love them. And the first Iron Man. Those 3, they have yet to do. What's really amazing is that they have managed to screw up the Fantastic Four, like with 2 or 3 different new versions. They all suck.
I didn't like any of them. I didn't like the first one either.
Actually, I think the Roger Corman one that was made for $1 million is the best, because it's certainly, at least if anything, more entertaining with a fraction of the budget that was committed to these Marvel Universe Fantastic Four films, and at least there was some great unintentional hilarity in those. Jacob says, Apex, I've been going back and getting all of the, wait a second. He says, never know when Disney will change those movies. Yeah, because Disney will, I swear to God, wait for it when they put out Blu-rays and DVDs in the future and they revise the movies. They'll be doing it. So get your original DVDs and Blu-rays now of those, because Disney, oh man, they have just sunk to new lows. Eric says you can also rent Witch Tales on Amazon. Thank you for that link, Eric. I appreciate it. Eric says, Harry Palms, don't give Apex any free ideas, lol. Apex, I absolutely give you the whatever, the go ahead, my blessings to use Harry Palms in a comic book. Apex says, I will need to finish up The Creep. I have about 24 pages to draw. I will let you know when it's available. Fantastic.
Good. That's great.
Excellent. Very cool art. Apex says, Harry Palms. Let's see. Eric says you can also get issue number 5 of chapter number 1 of my character, Mr. Muck, from Golden Era Comics via Indie Planet. That is fantastic. And the link is here. That is indieplanet.com. And they also sell Big Bang Comics. I've gotten a few Big Bang Comics from Indie Planet with Dr. Weird as well. But this is Golden Era Comics number 5, featuring Eric Boyd's Mr. Muck. Check it out, folks. Fantastic. I love it. I love Golden Age stuff. Captain Eric draws almost exclusively, from what I've seen on his draw streams, he draws classic Golden Age superheroes.
He draws in that style, huh?
Yeah, totally. And he goes back to some of the, the lesser known superheroes of the Golden Age. And it's great stuff, man. So needless to say, Mr. Muck, Golden Era Comics, it is all about the Golden Age, and it is great stuff. Once again, folks, that is indieplanet.com, Golden-Era-5. Apex says, you're right, Jacob. You're right. Grab the physical copies while you can. Yep, absolutely. Eric says, I keep hitting the send button too early. Oi! Werewolf. Yeah. Oi vey, Yiddish of Charleston. Werewolf says, question for Cap. Favorite British horror movie?
Oh, probably one of the Hammer films, with maybe the Christopher Lee as Dracula.
Yes. Yeah, or Curse of Frankenstein is another great one where Christopher Lee is the Frankenstein monster.
Yeah.
There's a ton of them. There's so many. And then, of course, we're going to be taking a look at one tonight, Captain.
The Gorgon. I love, that's one of my favorite.
Oh, the Gorgon.
movies.
Yeah, that's another one.
Peter Cushing.
Yes. Yes. We've got a British horror, a classic, lined up tonight. I don't think it's Hammer, but it is British horror, and it is one of the greats, in my opinion. We're going to be taking a look at that real quick. As soon as I can get through these comments. Why not?
We're going to be here forever.
I know. I think this will be the last one, and we're going to go to Bud Plant. And then we'll come back, guys. Why Not Art 70 says, I'm definitely looking for contributions for my fanzine's next issue. My apologies as I forgot to tell the title. It's called Halloween Bazaar. I love it. I love it, man.
You know, Why Not Art should be talking to Dr. Orloff from the Hotel Orloff. Maybe he can help with some of that.
Yeah, maybe so.
He's done some magazines in his time, you know, as well. So
yes,
he's got experience with that.
Yeah, that would be totally cool, man. Yeah, Why Not Art 70? If you've got I don't know, like a website or something, a link that people can go to, or should they just subscribe to your channel? Is that the best way to keep informed? You know, let us know. In any case, folks, it's time. Oh, yes, it is indeed time to take a little gander at Bud's Art Books. Now, I just put in Bud's Art Books there. It's giving me some grief now. But I'm going to do it again. Yeah. And we're going to take a look at his section Just Arrived. There we are. Okay, folks. Fasten your seatbelts, okay? That's what I'm saying right now. I'm going to go down here, start with, let's see, where are we? Here we go.
Ooh.
Here we go. I know.
Look at that.
It is good stuff. I'm going to increase the size on this. So, yeah, there we go. So we get a little better picture. And we're going to start off with, well, world famous creatures. Remember this one, Captain? It was only lasted 4 issues. It was a knockoff of Famous Monsters. And it just didn't get any traction, but they have the complete world famous creatures all in one volume, all 4 issues for $39.95.
That creature reminds me somewhat of Night of the Demon.
Oh, there you go. Well, you just, that was the one we're going to take a look at. It's now on Tubi.
Oh,
Night of the Demon they just landed it on Tubi, folks. One of my favorite British horror films of all time.
I let the cat out of the bag.
But you're right. And of course, that is the Astounding She Creature. Which also, they have the remake. Man, so many things happening. Stan Winston did a remake of the She Creature. I think it's just called the She Creature for his remake. But Stan Winston, 2002, I want to say, did a remake. And of course, the creature is quite different. This is Paul Blaisdell, the makeup artist that did a ton of Roger Corman films. And he also did the She Creature. But let's move ahead. They have issue number 32 of Pulpster, the Pulpster magazine. Of course, if you're a pulp magazine enthusiast, this one is definitely for you. Issue number 32. Now, if you see anything, you just say stop, Captain, because otherwise, some of these just don't, I don't know what the hell they are. Because there's a lot of new shit. But here's the Avengers Volume 1 Marvel Masterworks. which is always a cool thing. Now that collects the first 10 issues of the Avengers, $65. There are a few of these out on the Avengers, but it's great to see. Of course, there is the Iron Man with his gold suit, of course, with the Avengers. Love that as well, that classic old Iron Man suit. Now they got Fantastic Four Marvel Masterworks Volume 25. And at this stage, folks, I don't know if I would call these masterworks, okay? That's getting way into the future where they have like She-Hulk and stuff. Yeah, not my cup of tea personally.
You might be better off just buying secondhand issues, you know.
That's true. Yeah, because this sucker's also $65 for volume 25. That's a lot of clams right there.
Yep.
Here we go. The Digest Enthusiast. Man, I just dig the hell out of that cover. I mean, hot blonde, classic cover.
Keyhole, peeping through the keyhole.
Peeping through the keyhole. Now we're going to take a little look at this real quick because they got a couple of images. Yeah, and she's just, you know, she is just snappy. She's snapping at somebody.
Maybe Bob Wood.
It could be Bob Wood.
That's the end of her.
Yeah. So here's a couple of things from the interior. Fantastic Virgil Finlay art, of course. One of my favorite artists from the pulp era. I still, to this day, don't know how he did some of his art. It's just astounding stuff, really. He was a true master.
Yep.
And now we got Fantastic. Oh boy, do I remember that. I had issues back in the day, back in the 70s. I'm sure this is from the 60s. And there is one more, and that is, there we go, DC Blue Ribbon Digest, Jonah Hex and Other Western Tales. Check out that cover. That is great, man.
It's nice. Yeah, it's painted.
It is.
You know who the artist is?
They do not say.
Oh, okay.
They do not say who the artist. I don't think they mention it here. Let's take a look. They mention a few artists. Best Comic Stories and Jonah Hex. Gene Carmen's Digest and Magazine. Was that Gene? Oh, that is Men's Magazine cover girl, Gene Carmen. That's who that chick is. I was like, I knew she's got that face, you know, just classic. I mean, oh my God. Yeah. I just dig the hell out of that. And with an inside look at Manhunt, the gold standard of detective fiction digest. Wow. There you go. So in any case, that is new for 2023. It's $20. That's about the going rate for one of these magazines. It's over 100 pages.
Oh, that's.
Pardon?
That's not bad. That's for,
yeah. That's about the rate. You know, $20 for one of these.
Yeah, you can't get the magazines for $5 or $6 or $8 anymore. I mean,
no. Yeah, as a matter of fact, you know, I was shocked, Captain. I looked into. I was in a Barnes and Noble, and I looked at an issue of Fangoria, and it was $15.
$15, yeah.
I was like, God.
I was going to pick one up myself, you know, recently, and I saw that, and I said, "Well, I'm not going to pay that for the magazine."
Yeah, the last time I looked, it was 10, and I thought that was kind of pricey, but I was like, all right. And then suddenly, it's like $15, man. Things have gone up in printing
Yeah.
It's the only thing that I can figure out because, as I was telling you earlier, too, the PS art book stuff. God, it just
No, Alter Ego magazine and the back issue magazines there have gone up. I remember paying $7.95, $6.95, and now they're like what, $12?
Somewhere in there.
Yeah.
This stuff has really gone up. Now check this out. Here's the Phantom. This is the complete newspaper dailies from 1980 to 1982. Interesting. Of course, there's a couple of samples there. The newspaper dailies. The Phantom in action. Great stuff.
Another $60 book.
60. I know. Well, let's take a look. Yeah, this volume continues the Cy Berry years. Hermes Press 2012. Oh, temporarily out of stock. God. And yet it's being scarfed up. Let's see. Additional info. 272 pages, man. $60. Wow.
Yeah, that's quite a bit. I don't know.
That is shocking. That is shocking right there. Here we go. Yeah, the art of Ron Lesser. I mean, there we go. Deadly Dames and Sexy Sirens. The Art of Ron Lesser, Volume 1. This guy, he's just one of those greats. He reminds me a lot of Everett Raymond Kinsler and the Avon book covers that he did. There was just fantastic artists doing these covers for these paperbacks.
Yeah, they were great. Kinsler was a great artist. He knew how to draw Western.
Oh, he was absolutely fantastic, man. He was really, I interviewed Kinsler and Joe Sinnott and Vic Carabata. And Joe Sinnott, it goes without saying, the guy contributed so much to comic book art. But Everett Raymond Kinsler blew my freaking mind. I went to his studio in New York City, and he was only in the comic books for like 4 years. He was doing, for Avon, he did Eerie and some other stuff for Avon Comics, and some amazing stuff in the comic books. And then he quickly, he got out of the comic books. He said he loved it. It's just that there was more money in, of course, doing the paperback covers and doing portraits of presidents and shit. And that's what he was doing. He had portraits of presidents and celebrities. He had a huge portrait of Thomas Wolfe on his wall, that he had done. And so that these guys were high-end artists. There's no doubt. Ron Lesser was another one. He just absolutely stunning stuff that Lesser did. Just great stuff, man. I can never get tired of looking at these. They're just so great, so classic.
Yeah, they know how to draw, that's for sure.
Oh God, and paint. That was a big thing. That doing the pen and ink stuff, the drawing, that's something. But then coming in as a painter and doing these is something else. It's another thing. That is just gorgeous right there. Nice. Ron Lesser, folks. Stunning artist. Here's some actual photos of his models. Wow. Great stuff. So the one on the left, remember that image, because I believe that's where he got this.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yep. Fantastic, man. Just fantastic. So that's a great one there. The Art of Ron Lesser, Volume 1, Deadly Dames and Sexy Sirens. $39.95. I would say that's worth it. You know, I mean, an art book of Ron Lesser. If you got the clams, it's got to be awesome. Now, this one, I don't know if you have any of these Grimm fairy tales.
Yeah, I've got a pretty nice collection of those original comics.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't have any of them. I occasionally see some of these. This is the 2023 swimsuit special. And it's a gorgeous cover. You know, I mean, what can be said? I'm not arguing there. As far as the cover goes, that is.
I think I'd rather have a book on Howard Nostrum art.
A Howard Nostrum, man. Yeah. That's so weird. I was just thinking of Howard Nostrum, literally like a few minutes ago, Captain, because looking at this Ron Lesser and looking at the photos of the models, I've got a magazine that is I think it's called Graphic Journal, and they've got like a 20-page article on Howard Nostrum. And it shows him, like, you know, in the studio with the models and various shots of the models, and also of Howard Nostrum. He would dress up like as a Western, like a bad guy in a Western or whatever.
Yeah.
He would dress up himself, you know, and people would take photos so he could use them. But I first discovered Nostrum's art in Harvey. You know, the Harvey pre-code horror comics. That was the first time I ever saw Howard Nostrum's art. And I love it, man. I think that guy is just fantastic.
I think I saw the first time I got exposed to his artwork, I think was it was a Men's Adventure magazine. I can't recall which one it is.
Right.
He did some covers for those various different titles of Men's Adventure magazines, and I think Norman Saunders did as well.
Norm Saunders,
another one, man. Yeah, Norm
Saunders.
Yeah,
who did those fantastic painted horror covers?
Yeah,
back in the pre-code era. Loved that stuff. Here we go. Check it out. Now this is a calendar, folks. 2024 calendar, Pulp Attack. I love it. Confessions from a Prison Cell. Oh, yes. Yeah, you could put me in the cell with this chick. Certainly. Good Lord.
Well, I don't know. She might give you the mogo and the go-go.
Oh, my God. That's great. And look at this the guy. She's like sitting in the chair. Beautiful. Just a great shot, by the way. And here's the guy dragging the body out. In the background,
he's all relaxed, smoking a cigarette, you know, twirling the gun around like it's nothing, you know.
And she's just off the guy. That is just beautiful. That my God, what can be said, man? That is just gorgeous. So that's a new calendar, folks. I mean, once again, Bud Plant. Bud's Art Books is one of those places that could drive me to, pennilessness. There's so many great things the guy has for sale. Absolutely fantastic. I think this is almost the last stuff. Here's Funny Things, a comic strip biography of Charles M. Schulz. I'm not familiar with it. I just it must be brand new. $36.99, but Charles Schulz enthusiasts might find that interesting. And just before I almost kind of screwed up. I'm dropping this link. Oops. I just dropped this link to Bud's Art Books in the chat. And folks, I don't have an affiliate program with Bud Plant. I wish I did. They don't offer one. But I just love showing people this stuff because his prices are generally as good as Amazon. The only advantage that Amazon has is when you, of course, you buy over $25, you get free shipping. That is the only thing. But otherwise, Bud is right in line with Amazon pricing. And there's Calvin Hobbes Portable Compendium right there. And, whoa.
What is that? Dylan Mulvaney?
Dylan Mulvaney?
Just kidding.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. You mean on the left?
Yeah.
Oh, that is too much.
Well,
now they've got... Go ahead, Captain.
Well, I mean, look at there towards, between her legs and the upper part. It looks like she's got a little bit of a bulge going there,
Yeah, that's true. That is true. That's a little, I don't know what the hell's going on with that. It says cognitive drawing, learn the female figure. Maybe that's the female with something a little extra figure.
Maybe that meant cognitive.
Oh my God, it's cognitive drawing. Learn the female. Dare I click on it? I don't know. It could be horrifying.
Well,
but here's Weird Science, the EC archives. Right here, folks, volume 2. What do they want for this? I can only imagine. Oh, it's only $20. Now, let's take a quick gander. That's really reasonable.
See how many pages it is.
Yeah, exactly. Look at that freaking cover.
Yeah, they just got some great comics back then. And they sad to say I've seen them go, but they kind of cut their own throats,
Oh, they did. But man, some of the Wally Wood science fiction stuff he did,
just amazing. They had amazing comics with artwork.
Yeah, Al Williamson. Holy totally. And Frank Frazetta.
Yep.
And Frank Frazetta and actually, Al Williamson and Frank Frazetta collaborated for Avon Comics. I'm sure you probably saw some of those.
I might have a few.
You probably do. You probably do. There's an Everett Raymond Kinsler cover where they're battling this two-headed dragon. I forget what the hell the name of that comic book was, but there's interior stuff by Frazetta and Al Williamson. Absolutely stunning stuff from Avon. Now, this collects issues 7 through 12, so that's nice. Yep. 1951 to 1952. Written by Al Feldstein, of course. Illustrated by Wally Wood, Joe Orlando, Jack Kamen, Harvey Kurtzman, and Feldstein himself. This is brand new from Dark Horse, 2023. Let's check out the page count. 216 pages.
Oh,
that is a deal, folks.
They probably don't have the ads in there, though.
Oh, that would suck. I wonder how we could find out.
They probably do have. I've had some of those where they've had the editorials in there,
right?
From the letters page, but I didn't see the ads, so I don't know.
Yeah, I'm kind of. I mean, that is an excellent price.
It is, even if they don't have the ads in there,
even without the ads. But I definitely agree. I just prefer the whole things reprinted as they were originally published. That's all there is. It just doubles the charm.
Yeah, that's something that I would pick up.
Yeah, that's a good deal right there. Nice. Okay, let's get back to Dylan Mulvaney here. No. In any case, it's a weird thing. It's like learn to draw the female figure, 90-day workbook. Okay, that's interesting. And that's it. That's it for our new arrivals from Bud's Art Books. And some nice stuff in there, some pricey stuff and some reasonable stuff, I would say, At this point, Captain, do you have you were saying you might have a couple of comic books you wanted to share with us? I've got a few myself.
I got something here that my friend Leo from Time Travel Comics, he gave this to me as a gift. I've never heard of these.
Cool. Here, I'm going to
Could I show it? They might show the backside of a female. Is that all right? You ever hear of this? I've never heard of these. I think we lost. Mike.
And hold on. Well, I'm
there.
You just couldn't hear me. Okay.
Oh, yeah, I didn't hear you.
Okay.
I never heard of these. Vampire Call Girls and Battle of the Colossal Women. Never heard of this.
Yeah, Battle of the Colossal Women. I've never heard of it.
By Sub Rosa Studios from 2003. Wow.
I wonder where oh, that's Sub Rosa Studios. Are you kidding me, Captain? It's Sub Rosa Studios.
Yeah, I never heard of this. I never heard of it.
I gotta show you something. You'll get a good chuckle out of this. Zombie versus Mardi Gras. Now, this is a feature film I made in the 90s in New Orleans.
Yeah.
And we got distribution from Sub Rosa Studios. And this is the VHS. When new releases were coming out still on VHS in the mid 90s, man. This was Sub Rosa. And at that time, they were called Salt City. The same guy, though, Ron Bonk, Sub Rosa Studios. And there you go, Zombie versus Mardi Gras.
Well, it's another one I got to get.
Well, unfortunately, it's simply
out of print.
Yeah, well, yeah, and it's not even, they remastered. They made, the other two guys I made this film with, one of the guys, they remastered it to DVD. And they did a really good job. Actually, it looks great. And he was selling it for a while. And I've got it. I've got a copy of the DVD. I may just make a copy for you, and send it to you. I think I'll do that because I try to contact these guys. I'm like, well, where are they available? And they're not selling them. I'm like, dudes, people want to buy Zombie versus Mardi Gras. I mean, folks, it's beads, breasts, and blood. That's the subheader right there. Zombie, and for a while we had the largest breast count in cinema history. There's a breast count, I believe it was 58 pair of breasts. Of course, it's shot during Mardi Gras. So what do you expect? I mean, it was like. And this was all shot on, I shouldn't say all shot. Most of this film is shot on Super 8 black and white film. Believe it or not, So there you go. Zombie versus Mardi Gras. Hilarious. And that's Sub Rosa. Sub Rosa.
Well, I got something. I picked some of these John Carpenter signed movies.
Ooh.
From Chicago, was it 2014?
Nice.
Halloween.
Oh, that's great. Signed by John Carpenter.
Yeah, at that time he was charging like $50 a signature, man.
Woo! Holy Toledo.
Probably today he's probably charging 80 or more. I don't know.
Probably.
And I love this movie, Big Trouble in Little China.
Great. Big Trouble in Little China, one of my favorite Carpenter films.
Got that signed, and what else? Oh yeah, Into the Mouth of Madness. This was pretty.
Oh, yeah, I love that's really I'd put that in the top two. The Thing and In the Mouth of Madness are my two favorite Carpenters. And then, of course, They Live is fantastic.
And it's glorious VHS.
That is just beautiful. Beautiful.
And then this one I got signed in September 2012 over at the Portage Theater. I think I talked to you about this. This is a basket case. It's signed by Frank
nice.
Lauder.
Okay, Hans, I'm going to remove myself so you won't be able to hear me, but people have got to see that clip.
Okay. Frank Henenlotter, 2012, in a revival theater here in Chicago called the Portage Theater. Sadly, they're not making movies right now. They're not showing any movies at this time because they took the guy's beer and wine license away, and that's where he made the money.
Oh, wow.
They didn't want to give him a beer and wine license, so he said, well, then we're leaving. We're not going to do anything. So now it's just nothing going on there.
Oh, that sucks. That is fantastic, though. Frank Henenlotter, man. I mean, he made some of the talk about grindhouse horror. That guy was on it, you know.
This is Something Weird video. Remember that? They don't know this anymore either.
Once again, I'm going to.
Something Weird video. They produced a lot of these great old strange and bizarre films.
Yes.
The grindhouse and exploitation films.
Yes, Something Weird. They had a lot of great, also, of course, public domain stuff.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, a ton of their catalog, maybe the majority, was public domain stuff that they just found, some of the most obscure titles, you know, and typically, you know, on the kind of like, how would we say, risque, sleazy, body, you know, weird, obviously.
Alpha Video was another one that disappeared, you know.
Alpha Video, yep. But there is still AGFA Video. AGFA Video, I still get emails from them, and they release exploitation films, like remastered.
Gotta check that one out then for sure.
Yeah, AGFA, AGFA, AGFA Films.
There's I got. What do I got here? I don't know. I gotta, you know, there was a store that I bought out years ago. They had stuff. I mean, I bought duplicates and triples of movies, like The Beast from the Haunted Cave.
Oh, fantastic. I just saw that not too long ago again.
Yeah. I might throw one of these in too. Maybe
Beast from the Haunted Cave, you know, what can be said? It was, I mean, it's not as great as the classic Creature from the Haunted Sea, but it's up there. It's up with Corman, you know.
I'll get a load of this. This is, I think, from 1934, The Mysterious Mr. Wong by starring Bela Lugosi.
Oh, yes.
No, it's 1935 here, but I think it was actually 1934. But well, anyway, he plays a villainous Oriental character in this movie, and then a couple of years later, 38 to 39, Boris Karloff comes out with The Mysterious Mr. Wong.
Yeah, that's right.
That's a detective. He's a detective in this.
Yes.
And here we got the mysterious Mr. Wong with Bela Lugosi and The Mystery of Mr. Wong with Boris Karloff. So I don't know. They must have been competing or something.
That is really strange.
It is.
That is an odd one.
But I love all those old films from the 30s with Bela Lugosi or Bela Lugosi.
Oh, yeah, of course, man. Great stuff.
This is another great set that I didn't see all the films in here yet, but of all the ones that I did see so far, The Leopard.
Oh,
Leopard
shit,
that's such a great film.
That's the Val Lewton collection.
Yeah.
I've got it.
That's great.
I've got that
Leopard,
exact
I think,
collection.
is really a great film.
Oh, the Cat People. man, holy Toledo. And also it's got Isle of the Dead, which is really quite good. Bedlam. I mean, what
the Body Snatcher and Curse of
Yeah.
the Cat People.
Yeah.
Shadows in the Dark, The Seventh Victim.
Yeah,
It's a great
Shadows in
set.
the Dark, I think, is the documentary about Val Lewton.
Right. There's 9 altogether, 9 tales in here.
It is a great combo, folks. Folks in the chat, if you can find the Val Lewton box set, you are going to just love it. And you can pick it up relatively inexpensively.
Yeah, I forgot what I paid for that, but it wasn't that much, actually. I think I paid for this whole somewhere maybe around $20 or $23, something like that.
Yeah, I recall paying like $20 for mine.
Well, look what you get for it, man. It's
yeah,
amazing.
Some of the great films. I mean,
The Val Lewton collection, yeah.
Yes, 9 flicks, folks. $20. Are you? And it's Val Lewton.
I don't know. It might be more expensive now, but I don't know.
I would imagine you could probably pick it up on eBay for.
Oh yeah.
Around that used. Hell, it is absolutely worth it. Okay, check this out. Now, we've been talking about this anyways, but I gotta bring this up because there's a couple of things. Now, we were, look, it's as far as I'm concerned, I think Captain Strangeliffe would agree. There's not a lot in the new comics business for the last 20 years that interests me at all. And most of the time it's because they have so many, they give you a bait and switch. They give you a cover that looks great. And you're like, wow, that's fantastic. And then the art on the inside is just crap. Yeah. And this happens 90% of the time. I swear, maybe even more than that.
Probably.
And so I just got turned off. I was just like, I'm done with that. Well, once in a while, there's a comic book that comes along and there's no bait and switch. What you get on the cover, you get on the interior. And one of those is the new Conan the Barbarian series, drawn by Roberto De La Torre, written by Jim Zub. And so I just got this about a week ago, and I went ahead and got the black and white Virgin cover, same cover, but showing De La Torre's artwork in black and white, which is absolutely phenomenal.
I have that too.
Thanks
to you telling me about it. I have that also.
Oh, you got that? Yeah, it's fantastic, man. I love it. And now, this is a 4-part series by De La Torre and Jim Zub. They are going to go. Jim Zub will continue writing it for the next part, the next 5 to, I guess, 5, 6, 7, 8. But unfortunately, it's going to have a different artist. Now, I don't know about this artist. I have not seen any of his interior stuff. So it remains to be seen. But I thought that De La Torre just nailed Conan like nobody's business.
Well, De La Torre's in for the first 4, right?
He is in for the first 4, and he does covers for all 4 issues too. They do have variant covers, and the funny thing is, I mean, here's a variant cover. This is Dan Panosian, and it's very good. However, this is one of the first times that I have seen where you have a series of variant covers, and the interior art is actually better than most of the variant
and the
covers.
cover art, actually.
Yes, it's a switch, but it's the switch for the good, where you're like, holy crap, the interior art is fantastic. And that kind of, as I was looking, I ended up getting this. I got it pretty cheap. I think it was $10 with shipping. But man, it's classic Barry Windsor Smith, Conan the Barbarian, Red Nails. This was the adaptation by Roy Thomas. All art by one of the greats, Barry Windsor Smith. I love his art. It's just the stuff that he did for Conan is, You know, I mean, you had such great artists. You had Barry Windsor Smith and John Buscema in particular. As far as I'm concerned, both of those were the greatest back in the day. And of course, Frank Frazetta's contribution with his incredible paintings. That just kind of like, you know, you're talking 1960s, 1970s, and 80s.
Yeah, I think that Gaines, Bill Gaines was saying that when they were both working for EC, he figured out that, or maybe Al Feldstein and Bill Gaines figured out that Al Williamson was more suited for the sci-fi, and Frazetta more for the fantasy and maybe fantasy and science fiction
and horror.
Yeah,
of course, because he did such great work for Creepy and Eerie,
right?
You know, in the horror realm. But yeah, I mean, fantasy, dark fantasy,
sword and sorcery kind of stuff.
Sword and sorcery, yeah. That was by and large Frazetta's thing. You know, there's no doubt about that. And the I mean, man, you know, the Conan paintings. One of those Conan paintings, it may have been Death Dealer, but I might be wrong. But it sold for over $1 million, the painting itself. And that's totally, I would say, absolutely worthy. When you see all of these other artists selling their paintings in New York for millions, and they're not even half the talent that Frazetta was, it's not surprising to see one of his original paintings go for $1 million. Doesn't surprise me at all.
Throwing paint at the
exactly
at the canvas, you know, and that looks cool, you know.
Or the guy that did the comic book stuff. Who the hell was it? Roy Lichtenstein. Remember that dude?
Yeah.
All those big paintings, and Ray Bradbury just hated that guy. He was just like, here's this guy that doesn't know shit about comic books, and he's just taking random parts of comic books and making these big paintings and making a mint, but he doesn't really understand, you know, what makes comics great in the first place. And this is Bradbury talking at one of the first, I want to say 1975 San Diego Comic-Con, when they were located in the El Cortez Hotel, you know, when like 3,000 people showed up or something, you know.
You know, a lot of times almost anything can pass for art, modern art and things of that nature. And I went to some art shows, one in particular where the artist put his or her, I can't remember, his or her leg in a plaster cast and had all the hair inside the cast from their legs or his leg, and that was supposed to be the art. So I don't know how he did that. Yeah, he had hair inside the cast, and then they laid it down and they showed it, you know, and you were supposed to look inside there.
What the heck?
And then another one at the same art show, they had this one woman who had ironing boards, and she just burned the ironing board with her iron, and then she wanted up like several $100s for each ironing board that she burned with an iron, you know.
Holy, yeah, it's absolutely
ridiculous, man.
And then you got, I mean, like, you know, well, we could go on.
They called it mixed media, is what they called it.
Yeah, mixed media.
Mixed medium. Yes, that's something I want. If you give me something like this any day.
Exactly. Right. There we go. Weird War. Let's get back first before we go to Tubi. We've got a couple of movies to look at before we wrap this up. But let's go back to the comments, because we've got a couple of comments here.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of them.
There are. Apex says, I may need to submit some of my art for your next fanzine. Yes. You guys should get together with that. I would, you know, that I might contribute something. If you need something horror oriented, I've got some stuff. Why not Art 70? Why not Art 70 says, as a matter of fact, I'm in several issues of Lovecraftiana, the magazine of Eldritch Horror, which is, of course, all things cosmic horror. I did a ton of illustrations for those guys. Why not Art 70 says, I'll announce and show the fanzine on my YouTube channel. Okay, great. That's excellent. I'm currently working on my website. Okay, but as far as my Instagram, I'm still not able to access it because of it being hacked. Ugh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's been going on for several months already now that I'm aware of.
Well, people, go to Why Not Art 70's channel then. Just look up Why Not Art 70. Subscribe. If you're interested in this fanzine, I am definitely going to, because I love horror fanzines. It's one of those things, man.
As I am as well.
Oh, yes. Michael Taylor says, Mike, I meant Foom. Yes, indeed. It's his Foom. Why Not Art 70 says, I would love to have your art in the fanzine Apex. Excellent. Apex says, I have Wolf and Batsy number 1 through 4. Excellent, Apex. Yeah, they're great, man. I love it. Love that stuff. He's really got a classic sense about him. Michael Taylor says, you're welcome, Why Not Art 70. Eric says, you can subscribe to Alterna Comics. There's the Alterna Comics YouTube channel right there. Eric says, the Johnson Smith Company ceased operations in 2019. Collections, etc., acquired the company in 2020. They do offer novelties on their site. Oh, how weird. Interesting. Collections, etc., folks. I have to check that out.
Yes, indeed.
Michael Taylor says, I wish I had a half-price books. Yeah, I don't think we have half-price books in Florida. I'll have to check it. Michael Taylor says, I'm sub to Apex, good man, and channel. Yes, indeed. And you should, of course, also sub to Eric Boyd, Why Not Art 70, and, of course, Captain Strangelife. And once again, folks, midnight is the deadline to get your email in to be entered to win one of 5 fabulous prizes Sunday night on the live Captain Strangelife show.
Of which you are going to be co-administrator.
Yeah, I will be back I'll be in the kind of the lurking in the background doing tech stuff that night. But I'll be there, folks. Definitely. Steve Harrison is here. Hello, Steve. Hello from the Great White North, gentlemen. Don't forget the 6-foot door posters from Captain Company. Yes. Yeah, those were those massive freaking Frankenstein. You know, I think they had Vampirella. Huge door posters. Why Not Art 70 says the fanzine will be $3.
Oh,
well, that's a deal.
Hey, well, I'll pick up several copies.
It's fantastic. Yeah, count me in for a copy. Definitely. Why not? That is fantastic, sir.
And we can even get them to sign it for us.
Yes. Yeah, there you go. That is definitely a thing right there. Why Not Art 70? $3 fanzine, folks. That's recalling the good old days. Good Lord. Werewolf says, thanks, Mike. If Russian bots turn up, I promise I won't look at their boobs like the last 300 times. Eric says, if you have not checked out my channel, please do. Would love to have a few new subscribers. More live drawing streams and videos coming soon. From Eric Boyd Art. There it is, folks. Go over there, check him out. Eric Boyd. I love it. I love seeing his new live draw streams and videos. They're really quite good. Werewolf says, I hope you weren't looking forward to an early night, Cap.
Nah.
Oh my God. I'll tell you the comments. This is like, I think the most comments I've ever had.
I've been sleeping during the day because I've been working back here to get room for the furnace, dragging stuff out, with a two-wheeler into the garage and then moving it here, moving it there. And then I couldn't sleep for 2 nights, but last night I slept a lot and I'm wide awake.
Oh, excellent. Well, we got plenty more show for you, folks. Do not worry about that. Michael Taylor also said, I remember seeing blacklight posters in stores. Unfortunately, didn't buy any. Yep. Those classic Kirby blacklights. Hey, it's Easy Comic Reader on the scene. Hello, Easy Comic Reader. He says, hello, Mike, Captain, and hey,
how are you, my friend?
Excellent. PBR Street Gang says, wasn't there an old school Fantastic Four back in the 80s? Well, it was 90s. It was the 90s, and it was Roger Corman Fantastic Four movie. And that was totally old school. As a matter of fact, that film is so notorious that they made a documentary about the making of that film, which was on Tubi for a long time. And it's great. Oh my God. They do a deep dive into the making of Roger Corman's produced Fantastic Four film. It's stunning to watch. It really is. Steve Harrison, Raimi Superman were
Spider-Man.
I'm sorry. Raimi Spider-Man were sunny? Maybe untouched. I'm not quite sure what that means.
Me neither.
Okay. Eric says, I have drawn Bronze Age and Golden Age stuff. I am fond of public domain characters. I am, however, working on Modern Age Good Girl comics as well. Excellent. Excellent.
That is of great interest to me.
Yes.
I love good girl art.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. God. Man.
Bad girl, even better.
Yeah. Good girl and bad girl. Or good girls fighting with bad girls. Yes.
Cat fights.
That's a yes, indeed. Werewolf says, the only live stream where I had breakfast and lunch. Not a bad thing. Yeah, he starts off in the morning around 7 or 8 a.m. has his breakfast, and by the time we're wrapped up, he's had lunch and maybe even dinner.
Sure. I get up early in the morning and I'm watching, maybe sometimes at 7 o'clock, and I start the TV and I'm watching the horror stuff. It's like my wife has radar. She never gets up. She sleeps like 9, sometimes till 10, but I'm down there at 7 in the morning watching horror stuff. She comes down. Are you watching horror movies again? I can't stand that in the morning. Once you go back up in the bed, you usually don't come down here before 9 or 10. Every time I watch a horror movie in the morning, you're down here. And we're going back and forth.
Oh, my God.
So then I got to go in the back and watch it.
Oh, yes. Apex says, I need to eat dinner now. I will watch more on the rewind. Great stream, Mike. Thank you, Apex. It has been a fantastic show so far.
Thank you, sir.
Michael Taylor says, cool cover on the world famous creatures. Yes, God, that's how many comments we got, Hans, because he's speaking about the world famous creatures we were looking at on Bud Plants.
Well, that was a half hour ago.
Werewolf says, if only she would digest my enthusiasm. Talking about that chick on the freaking cover. Yeah. Eric says, peeping through the keyhole. Mm-hmm. Sounds like a Saturday night for a horror Mike. Oh, yeah. Good Lord. Werewolf says, that keyhole belongs to the world's worst peeping Tom.
That's me.
Yeah. Good Lord. Michael Taylor, that looks like pulp art in Digest Enthusiast. Yes, indeed it is. PBR Street Gang, big Robert E. McGinnis fan as far as book cover artists go. Yes, yeah, another one. There are like literally, I don't know what happened, But in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, especially, with the paperback books, there were dozens of amazing artists.
Oh, there were a lot. There were a lot. I mean, it was too numerous to even be able to.
I mean,
Joe Doolin was one. He did the pulp magazines and then went into the some comic book covers.
Yeah, Planet Comics, didn't he?
I think he did some Planet Comics, and he did stuff for Fiction House.
Fiction House, yes.
Yeah.
Great stuff, man. Michael Taylor says, gotta love that Pulp Attack cover. Yeah, I love that, man. That is hilarious. Eric says, that female figure doesn't appear to have any hips either.
No hips and no, well, you can change that H to a T and then a couple of T's. Well, you know what I'm talking about.
And Jacob gave that a 2 googly eyes on the yeah, and that's deserved. Michael Taylor says, pretty good deal on that Weird Science EC archives. Yeah, that's really quite good. Graphic Man is here. Hello, Graphic Man.
Micah, hi. Doing? How are you, sir?
Good God. Good to see you here. Jacob says, I got the first and second editions of EC Weird Science. Great stuff, yeah. Oh, my God. That stuff is just fantastic. Michael Taylor says, Captain, you may be able to find it on eBay. It's been so long, I'm not quite even sure what he's talking about. Oops. Oopsie.
I don't remember either. No.
Meyer says, Simone Simon is great and absolutely beautiful in the Val Lewton flicks. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Catwoman. Yeah. Oh, my God. Man. Just fantastic stuff. And now, if I'm not mistaken, I may be wrong, but we're going to find out real quick because we're going to look at the Curse of the Demon. But didn't Val Lewton direct that film?
Curse of the Demon?
Yeah, Curse of the Demon, or he produced it. We'll see. We will see. Or it was Jacques Tourneur. Jacques Tourneur, who was Jacques Tourneur and Val Lewton did all of those films together. Val Lewton was the producer. Jacques Tourneur, the French filmmaker, was the director, like of the Cat People and all that shit. But they were all like spearheaded and created. You know, how should I put? They were just they were helmed by Val Lewton, but he did not actually direct them. He was the producer, if I'm not mistaken. Steve Harrison says Frazetta did Thundra. Indeed. Werewolf says Wallywood for sci-fi. No doubt about that. And copious naked wood nymphs. He would belt out some really hot wood nymphs. I always loved that. Steve Harrison says, I just got a complete Judge Dredd from Australia, cheaper than from the UK, but postage went up again. Yeah, postage is once again on the rise, obviously. You know,
I see the director here was Jacques Tourneur.
Yeah, Jacques Tourneur. Yeah, and I think he was the director on all of those, and it was Val Lewton that produced them. And I think it is Val Lewton who produced Curse of the Demon, but we'll find out.
Well, yeah, Curse of the Demon. That was the first one, and then there was a Night of the Demon, which is essentially the same film but with more.
That was the U.S. release, right?
I think so. Well,
was Curse of the Demon the U.S. release? One of those releases, they never show that monster. You know, the demon that's on the railroad tracks, the giant monster, which I could have done without personally. I don't think it was really necessary for the film. It looked cool, but I was like,
Night of
I
the
don't.
Demon was the first release, wasn't it, from England? And then
It was Curse of the Demon for U.S., right?
Yeah, and I think that was essentially the same film, but they said they put in some more stuff that wasn't in the first ones, from what I understand.
And I believe the monster was one of those things they added for the U.S. release.
Oh,
you know,
so it's not in the
the actual demon.
I gotta take a look at watch both of them. I have both copies of that. I gotta watch them again.
It's great. It's definitely as somebody was saying earlier. What's your favorite British horror film?
Yeah,
that's in the top 5. There's no doubt. It's brilliant. The whole thing about it. It's such a well-made film, well written. The
and
acting
Dana Andrews is always
fantastic.
great.
Yeah, yeah. And
Great
the guy
movie.
that plays who is it? Count Karnstein or Karnstein, the mentalist, you know.
Yeah, right. I don't know
butts
what
heads against
can't
Karnak. Maybe it was Karnak. Karnstein. It's one of those. I don't know. But in any case, he's great. He is great too. The acting is just top notch. That film is, it's way up there. Way up there. Wine on Art 70 says, Gary says, I just subscribed to Wine on Art 70. Excellent. Wine on Art 70 says, would definitely love to have you contribute to the fanzine, Mike. Appreciate everyone's support for my fanzine and YouTube channel. Excellent. Absolutely, Wine on Art. That is I'd love to get something in there. Yeah. Man, horror fanzine. I'm excited. Suddenly. God, I haven't heard anybody say, yeah, I'm putting together a horror fanzine in years. I mean, seriously. That is fantastic. Gary also subbed to Eric's channel. Good show. You will be not disappointed. He has a very good channel. Steve says Corman had to make Fantastic Four before he lost the license. That was the deal. And you got to watch the documentary, because in reality, Corman made his money. He never planned. The whole thing about the film is it was never released, and Corman never planned to release it. He already made his money before the film was released. That was the deal, and they shelved the freaking film. It is just it's a tale of backstabbing, two-timing, and conniving. The whole thing about that freaking movie, and we'll have to take a quick look when we're on Tubi to see if it's still there, because it's fascinating. Steve says Raimi refers to when you were talking about Disney and Marvel. Oh, right. Sony did Spider-Man and has the right. Oh, Sony did Spider-Man and has the rights. Got that? Yeah. Now you've clarified.
Sony is one Y.
Right. So what I would say is that instead of the original Marvel, I would say the original comic book adaptation films, and wherein Sam Raimi started it off, right? The Spider-Man was the first series of new superhero movies, wasn't it? I mean,
well, it's like
for Marvel,
the whole genre, kind of.
Yeah, but of course you had Superman
started
before that, with,
right?
But
this was like it started like a Renaissance kind of.
Yes.
With
yeah.
that. And then they screwed it all up. Down the road, eventually they screwed it all up.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, literally there were like maybe 3 or 4 of all of those after the Sam Raimi movies that were any good. That's it. What can be said? They were just, look, they have a great film and then they milk it. They're just like, hey, we're just going to make more money. We don't give a crap if the film's garbage. People are going to go see it.
It's become like a lot of the films today have become like advertisements for the next one. That's what they're thinking of when they make these kind of movies now. Think of it like an advertisement for the next movie, you know. And
yeah, that's exactly it. That's precisely it. Werewolf says, "Me and Cap have the same wife. Who knew?"
Yeah.
Still, no horror films. No horror films allowed. Werewolf says, "Going for a few cigarettes, should be back in time for this comment." Yes, and he's probably correct. He's probably had a few since the last comment. Steve says, thoughts on the end of Heavy Metal magazine? Well, look, as far as I'm concerned, after 1985, Heavy Metal just took a dive, man. It became like all of their covers were just scantily clad chicks, and there was nothing to it. It was just like, yes, okay, scantily clad, you know, sword and sorcery, sci-fi chicks and stuff. But look, that was like a small part of Heavy Metal. That was like this.
Yeah, they used to have more substance before they began to do that. Before they began every issue with you know, nude paintings and stuff like that.
Yeah,
they had more substance before that, you know. But
yeah, often the covers before that, most of the time there weren't scantily clad chicks on the cover. I mean, they would occasionally have one for this or that, but they were like science fiction and fantasy, you know, oriented covers. And then they were just like, oh shit, we need to make more money. Let's put half nude chicks on the cover.
And then they
that was
screw
it.
things up.
Yep. Yeah, I think it just went down a lot. Robert Weiss directed one of Val Lewton's horror films. That sounds right. That sounds right. I just can't remember. Did he direct Curse of the Demon?
No,
he didn't. That had to be Jacques Tourneur.
Yeah, that was Jacques Tourneur. I got it right here, as a matter of fact. And
okay,
Hallie Chester was one of the writers.
Okay.
So
it was Jacques Tourneur. Yeah, and he was such a great filmmaker, a great director.
Niall McGuinness, is that how you say it? He was the Dr. Julian Carswell.
Yeah,
Dr. Julian Carswell.
Yes.
And that actor's name is, I can't pronounce it right, Niall McGuinness.
Oh, okay. Niall McGuinness.
Yeah.
Why Not Art 70 says, sad what's happening to Heavy Metal magazine. Oh, you know, they're still going. They were going. Apparently it's closing down though. They've been going all these years. I swear to God, I got one issue from the last 10 years. That's it. I just kind of gave up on it a long time ago, actually.
I don't think the clientele is there anymore either.
The which one?
I don't think the clientele, the customer base is there anymore, you know.
No. He says, I've been working on completing the early issues. That is when Heavy Metal was amazing. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Why Not Art 70? And also, man, the first 50 issues of Metal Hurlant are incredible. And a lot of the stuff in Metal Hurlant never shows up in Heavy Metal for one reason or another. Some stuff does, some stuff doesn't. And that's why I started getting the Metal Hurlant, you know, years ago, because they, you know, it wasn't always like, oh yeah, they're just mirroring Metal Hurlant, Heavy Metal. That wasn't the case. They would add a ton of American artists like Bernie Wrightson, of course, did a lot of early Heavy Metal. Fantastic stuff. Even H.R. Giger was back in the early days. Oh, man. Well, it was Bernie Wrightson's Freak Show, one of the big series they had in early Heavy Metal. Love that stuff. Michael Taylor says, I was referring to that DVD that Mike showed you and said it's no longer available. Oh, yeah, you mean the VHS.
Right.
The Zombie versus Mardi Gras. And Steve says, agreed, started at issue 2 and then stopped when I lent a bunch to a girlfriend's dad and we split up. I resumed buying it when it went quarterly. Okay. Because it did go quarterly in 1985, I believe. That's when heavy metal started going quarterly. And that's kind of the whole story of it right there. I really 1977 1977 to 1984 are my favorite era of heavy metal. Michael Taylor says, I sub to Eric. Excellent. That is fantastic, Michael Taylor. Speaking of Raimi Spider-Man, I prefer Spider-Man movies over the new ones. Oh, damn straight. Are you kidding me? My God. It's just kind of like, back in the day, whoever, it was Raimi, who is going to love the Spider-Man because he loved the comic books. And the guy that did the original Iron Man obviously loved the original comic books. And they knew it. They knew the comics. These new guys, I don't know where the hell they get them, but they don't know shit. That's really basically what's going on. Eric says, some people attribute the Blade movies as moving the Marvel superhero movies forward, although the argument could be made the character is an anti-hero of sorts, but it did spur interest. Yeah, no, I consider him a hero. Blade, sure. And I love the original Blade movie with Wesley Snipes. That was another one. I also like the original Punisher movie, with, I forget that guy that plays the Punisher. And then they did Punisher Warzone with Ray Stevenson, and that's really good too. I really dug the hell out of that. Steve says, Sony got profits from Fox's Spidey. They may not have a say now. Indeed. Holy Toledo. Steve says, agreed on heavy metal. Did you know that Netflix Death and Robots was supposed to have been heavy metal at one time, but broke away from the brand? Yes. Yes, indeed. And they did.
Series.
Yep. And they did this other thing called the Metal Hurlant Chronicles, which is crap. Oh, my God. It was based on, and it was all from Europe. And I heard about it, and I was like, oh, my God, this is going to be great. Metal Hurlant on the silver screen. And then it was just shite. I was so disappointed. Steve says the heavy metal reviews you did was an early introduction to you, Horror Mike. Aha, indeed. And I'm going to do more, Steve Harrison, because I got a ton more to do. And I've got more Metal Hurlant, of course. Werewolf says, I will watch the 4-hour rewind to see what I missed.
Oh, hopefully it won't go that long.
No. Eric says, thank you to the new subscribers on my channel. Indeed. Here we go. We're at the end. Michael Taylor says, one of the only things about Raimi's Spider-Man that wasn't accurate. Oh, the webbing didn't come out of Peter's skin. He was a web shooter. Yes. Steve Harrison, it was a super low budget and on Amazon. Metal Hurlant, yep. That was a big problem. It was super low budget. It's really. All right, folks. Folks, guess what? It's that time. Now, before going to Tubi, I just want to say one more time, okay? Tonight by midnight, by the stroke of midnight, is the deadline for entering into the giveaway on Captain Strangelife's special show on Sunday night. Okay, so get on over to Captain Strangelife's channel. I'm going to put that in there now. So we
the witching hour.
Yeah, the witching hour. And you guys have got to get on it. There we go. There it is. Thank the gods.
God.
And there you go. I've just dropped the link to Captain Strangelife's channel in the chat. Please go over there. First, subscribe. Then look at the, is it the last video where you post your email?
Well, the last couple of videos, I actually posted the email.
Okay. Last couple of videos, you should see the email in the description.
You probably have to copy it and paste it because I couldn't get a direct link to work.
Okay. Yeah, and just send them an email with your YouTube handle.
That's all you got to do.
That's it, folks. And you're entered to win one of 5 incredible prizes. Man, it's just absolutely amazing.
I wanted to say something before I forget. I got also Mike, the other Mike, Mike Smith from Night Tiger Comics.
Yes.
He's going to be on also. And he's got he said he has a special surprise for the people in the chat.
For the studio audience?
For the studio audience, yes. I don't know what it is. I don't know what he has planned, but maybe some sabotage or something. I don't know.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So.
Well, yeah, I mean.
That'll be interesting.
I know he's had giveaways himself.
Yeah.
So maybe you think that's maybe what he's thinking?
I don't know, and I don't want to say because I just don't know. What I do know is I've got to go pee.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, I tell you, I'm going to run. You go ahead and do that, Captain. I'm going to run some trailers.
Okay. I'll be back. I'll be back in a moment.
Okay. Michael Taylor says this show might still be on at midnight. It might be. I suspect it's at least going to be on until 10, which is one of the longest shows I've had, with the exception of the Halloween show from last year. Now, I want to do another Halloween show, folks, for this year. And once again, maybe that's what I'll do is like last year, we had several contestants that, dressed up, and we had the studio audience, everybody in the chat vote for their favorite costume. And they won something. I forget what the hell it was. I think it was Meyer that won because he was he was like the ape. He was like a big gorilla. Okay. And then he dressed up as something as well. But no, he did win, I believe. Steve says, love that Barbie growing out of a candle, Captain, or is she crawling out from an acid vat? Excellent. Excellent. Steve says, great show, guys. Thank you. I'm glad you guys are digging it. And we've still got Tubi. Oh, my God, dudes. Wait until you see the Tubi lineup. Now, it's not gigantic. I think I got I don't know, maybe 20 films in the lineup. And they're all new on Tubi, folks. You're going to have to see some of these to believe it. Tubi is just crushing it. Tubi is absolutely crushing it with these, in particular, the 60s, 70s, 80s exploitation films, but also they've added some classic 50s films that you guys will enjoy. They just added 3 or 4 Harryhausen films, great animation stuff. So that's another thing. Werewolf says, Cap's 90. I can't believe he hasn't already wet himself. I'm 52 and I have. Oh, good Lord, man. Michael Taylor says, another Halloween show would be great. Meyer Gorilla Mask was great. I voted for Meyer. Yeah. I mean, and there were some great ones too, man. As you recall, there were, who is that guy? Bear Pig showed up. I think he was the first contestant, and he was dressed as, Leatherface from the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. He was quite good. Captain Strangeliffe was there. He showed up, and he was in his classic with the top hat, like Victorian garb. I love that as well. As a matter of fact, I think I voted for him, but he was edged out by Greenblatt with the, gorilla suit. So, folks, all right, guys, we've got just a couple of minutes here. I am going to show you something because I kept these here because they're hilarious. But let's take a quick look at this, shall we?
Oh, Zombo, do you think if I drank a 6-pack of that brand of beer, I'd look like her?
Oh, no, my dear. But if I drank a 6-pack of that brand, then you'd look like her.
Zombo. He's a horror host.
Hey, I think I should mention that thing about what you were talking about, Meyer Greenblatt.
Yes.
He was wearing that during almost the entire time. He was wearing that gorilla mask and completely covered in sweat and stuff. So I voted for him too.
Well, there you go. It was kind of tough because I think that we had several really, really great contestants, for the show. I think we're going to have to do it again, Captain. We're going to have to do another Halloween show.
Yeah, we could do
October.
This Curse of the Demon and Night of the Demon. I'm just looking at this, and it said for the British, Night of the Demon was released in the UK in a 95-minute running time. For the American market, the film was cut to 82 minutes, and it was retitled Curse of the Demon. So it was actually in the British production where it had the extra time.
Okay, but I wonder if maybe the creature was in both of them.
It could be, but I'm gonna be watching this maybe tomorrow over the weekend. It was a great film. Great film.
It is just fantastic. It is like okay. That's 1959, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, wait. No, wasn't it 1957 or something?
Oh, maybe. I've got it here. Hold on.
I can't see.
Curse of the Demon was 1957. You are correct.
Oh, it is? Okay. But anyway, I'll let you continue.
Okay. And we have Michael Taylor says, Man, Bear, Pig left early. He did. Unfortunately, he did that great Texas Chainsaw. And he was kind of scary because he never said anything. Like he was just kind of moving around in his house and shit.
Yeah.
Rather disturbing. Oh, God. Okay, folks, without further ado, guess what? It's time. Let's say it all together. It's Tubi time. Dun, 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 dun. And there we go. We're starting off with some, oh my God. I don't even know what to say. The first film on the right is Night Clubbing, and it is a documentary film about the early punk scene in New York City. I just put that up there. I plan on watching it. It's just kind of an additional thing. But let's move on to Crypt of Dark Secrets, folks.
I can go for that.
Yeah. Okay. And I tell you, here's the thing about that, Captain. I watched it.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah. And at about the 32-minute mark, there's a really great ritual sequence with this woman, and she's butt naked.
Ooh.
Doing this ritual dance.
Hey, caramba.
Yeah. But the first 32 minutes before that it's like watching a boring travel log.
Well, I will fast forward it.
So in any case, folks, if you want to catch Crypt of Dark Secrets and you want to see some really great, let's just say TNA.
Yes.
Go to the 30-second minute mark. You will be definitely satisfied.
You will see some very dark secrets from her.
Yes. Now, on the other hand, Demented Death Farm Massacre from 1971, which is a comedy thriller horror film from, of course, you guessed it, Troma. Troma Entertainment, folks.
The Death Farm Massacre. Name.
It delivers. It delivers the goods. There is some great, I mean, it's classic exploitation. It's on Tubi. It is bizarre. It's funny. There's a cat fight, which is quite nice. And of course, nudity. Strange film. It is a strange freaking movie, as only Troma can give you. And guess what? We've got the trailer. We've got the trailer, folks. We deliver the goods here.
Let's see that. We got to see that.
Oh, where the heck is it? Oops. Hold on, guys.
Let me get some peanuts.
Oh, there it is. Okay, get some peanuts, Captain.
Hello, darling.
Okay, here we go, folks. This is the trailer to Demented Death Farm Massacre.
Introducing Harlan Craven, the most debonair, romantic leading man to hit the silver screen.
Wanting to play it. Hold on.
A deadly.
Introducing Harlan Craven, the most debonair.
And in the latest pair of Jesus jeans, we could tour around the Philippines together.
The play.
Introducing Harlan Craven, the most debonair, romantic leading man to hit the silver screen in decades. He's dashing. He's dreamy. He's delightful. Introducing Harlan Craven, the most debonair, romantic leading.
I'm looking for my younger sister.
Okay, there's that one.
Introducing Harlan Craven, the most debonair, romantic leading man to hit the silver screen in decades. He's dashing. He's dreamy. He's delightfully dramatic. But he's demented. And he's the star of Demented Death Farm Massacre, the movie. Harlan loved his young, delectable wife, and so did all the neighbors. And one day, they were all consumed by the Demented Death Farm Massacre. Demented Death Farm Massacre is a film so full of action.
You stupid bitch!
Blood-curdling.
Good God, she's dead!
So ultra-violent that only a master of horror and suspense like John Carradine could do it justice.
I am the judge of hell.
So race to see Demented Death Farm Massacre, where the degenerate dirt farmers meet the psychotic diamond thieves.
One of these days, I'm gonna tear you apart.
Demented Death Farm Massacre is sure to become a cult film classic. Never before has such unmatched beauty been coupled with such unspeakable beastliness. You must see this chaotic catastrophe of carnage. Hear the screams. See the blood. Experience the nausea. See Demented Death Farm Massacre.
That's Class A stuff in anybody's book.
If you dare. It's the year's action terror smash.
What more could a body want?
Demented Death Farm Massacre, the movie.
All right, folks. If that doesn't get you going, I don't know what will.
It looks hilarious, man.
Indeed, that is Demented Death Farm Massacre, currently on Tubi, folks. I recommend it just for the sheer nuttiness of it, and of course the babes. They got some good babe action.
That's on my list.
Now here's one that I've either not seen it or I saw it a long time ago and I just forgot. Demon Rage.
Demon Rage.
There we go. Yeah, Demon Rage. A demon puts an emotionally and sexually neglected wife under his influence. This one stars Britt Eklund and John Carradine. Believe it or not. So it's Britt Eklund. Nah, you know what I'm saying there, and I think that you do. In an R-rated film, and she has no problem with nudity, folks. They also have the Dean Martin, The Ambushers, 2 movies on there, just to let you guys know. It's not on my list, but it is there. Old Dean.
Matt Helm,
The Ambushers, Dean Martin. Nurse, give me some more of that lemonade.
I want to see Blood Sisters of Lesbian Sin.
Blood Sisters of Lesbian Sin, 1997. Maybe I'll cover that one next week. That one does look pretty good. Killer Nun. I don't know about that one either. But in any case, Demon Rage, folks. It's on Tubi. You might want to check it out. Now, Cannibal Women in the Avocado Jungle of Death. I know this film.
Yeah,
I've seen it a couple of times.
I've seen it too.
Yep, Adrian Barbeau and Bill Maher. Bill Maher is in this fucking movie before anybody knew who Bill Maher was, before he did any of that politically incorrect stuff years ago. It was Bill Maher doing some doing the occasional acting in off Hollywood films. Let's put it that way. Off Hollywood films. And it's funny. I mean, it's been a while since I've seen it, but there's some good laughs in it. And there's some really amazing, how should we say, Amazonian women.
A lot of great looking Amazonian women, but kind of drags a little bit.
It does kind of drag a little. Yes, you're right. You're right. Now this next one, The Damned, I gotta say, I have never heard of this in my life. The Damned, 1965 sci-fi horror starring Oliver Reed.
Oh.
Anybody? I've never heard of this.
So we gotta...
Oops, they're starting it. Okay, there we go. An American tourist and his English lover discover a cave inhabited by unusual children genetically engineered to survive an atomic blast. What?
I know Oliver Reed, but I never heard of this film.
Yeah, 1965. Where does Tubi dig up this stuff? That's what I'm saying right now. It's a new one on me. They pulled a fast one on Horror Mike, folks. And I plan on watching this. It's on my list, Don't know much about it, but Oliver Reed is great. And, it could be a good one. I don't know.
Got it on my list.
Yep. The Damned, 1965. Great obscure films that Tubi is spitting out here. Now, here we go, folks. All right. We've got a couple of Lovecraftian quote-unquote gems for you in the lineup. The Last Lovecraft, Relic of Cthulhu. 2011, comedy, horror, sci-fi, independent. Once again, this would be, I think it would be very much at home in the trauma lineup. It's funny. It definitely has a bit to do with the comic book world, because one of the characters is a comic book artist, and he's got a comic book that he's trying to put out. And these guys get involved in this big Lovecraftian conspiracy, and it's pretty funny. Now, it's very low budget. Just to put that up front, but I thought it was rather enjoyable, and it's what can be said.
Yeah, a lot of these low budget indie films can be a lot of fun. You have to put them in the proper perspective. You can't expect, Francis Ford Coppola or, Steven Spielberg, but.
Right. Hey, and, remember Francis Ford Coppola, Dementia 13. He started out the exact same way.
Yeah.
And Dementia 13 is a great film.
Sure.
I like that film a lot, and it's a very, very low budget flick. So yeah, it's quite good. I recommend it. If you have any, if you dig Lovecraft at all, I think you're going to get a big kick out of this. There's a lot of Lovecraft references, the deep ones, of course, Cthulhu and so forth in the film. And it's really enjoyable. Now, this next one is also Lovecraftian. Halfway House. And I got to tell you guys, I've seen it. I watched it several nights ago. 2004. This film, if you're looking for an exploitation film that delivers copious amounts of TNA in spades, you need to watch The Halfway House. I couldn't believe what I was watching when I saw this freaking movie. There's so much nudity in this film. It's hilarious. And the creature, as you can see on the box art, there is a Cthulhuoid creature, and he's great. He's really quite cool. And of course, they sacrifice these women to this creature, this entity. Yeah, but look, I don't want to, try to prove it to you. Here's the trailer.
I'm looking for my younger sister. She went out jogging 2 nights ago before dinner and never came back.
All the other girls were resident.
I'm looking for my younger sister. She went out jogging 2 nights ago before dinner and never came back.
All the other girls were residents there. The Mary Magdalene halfway house for troubled girls.
Young women are being harmed in some way, and representatives of the Catholic Church are somehow trying to cover it up.
Once I'm inside, undercover, I'll find out what's going on.
I just happen to be the #1 bitch around here.
I don't know what the fuck is going on here. Everything looks suspicious as hell.
knows what goes on in the minds of young girls, especially the troubled ones.
There we go, folks. Halfway House. I guarantee you, if you want exploitation, you got to check this film out. Seeing is believing. And as you may have noticed there, Mary Warrenoff was huge in the 70s and 80s in Roger Corman films. Of course, Death Race 2000. She was in that. And she was actually Calamity Jane. That was her character in Death Race 2000, the original Corman version. And also, of course, Eating Raoul, which is a comedy classic from the 80s with Paul Bartel. And this film is, you may have noticed too, there's this one kind of crazy looking janitor character in this film. That's Cleve Hall. Now, he passed away a few years ago, but Cleve Hall had a show on the Sci-Fi channel called Monster Man, because Cleve Hall was a special effects artist in Los Angeles. He did a ton of special effects for low-budget films in Hollywood, and he helped with the special effects on this film. And he was also an actor in the film. So there's that. Just some of the most gorgeous women I've seen, and it delivers in spades. That's all I'm saying. Halfway House, your ultimate exploitation flick from the 21st century. Let's put it that way. I'm not saying it competes with some of our favorite 70s and 80s flicks, but man, whew, it's amazing. It's something else.
Well, I got a nice list going here.
You will not be disappointed. Captain Strangeliffe, this is Halfway House's. You know, the story isn't what I would call fantastic, but the TNA just keeps it rolling, rocking and rolling, as a matter of fact. It's just absolutely amazing. And the creature is really cool. I love this creature. The puppetry is really quite good.
Yeah, it's got one eye just like Starro from the Justice League.
Yeah. Oh, man. Oh,
Twins
man.
of Evil.
Twins of Evil, folks, 1971. Oh, yes, twins. Oh, and we know those darling twins. I keep forgetting their name. Yeah, Mary Collinson and Madeline Collinson. 1971, two orphaned identical twins go live with their uncle, a religious sect leader who hunts all women suspected of witchcraft or vampirism. Of course, Peter Cushing, Mary Collinson, Madeline Collinson, just some awesome twins. If any of you have seen Twins of Evil, you know what I'm talking about. Just a really...
That's on my list over there on Tubi.
A fine exploitation film from the 1970s. Just really good stuff. There we go. Folks, we were talking about zombie cheerleaders last week, and PBR Street Gang was kind of like theorizing about zombie cheerleaders versus zombie strippers. And what do you know? Last week, or I think maybe last Thursday, yesterday, Jesus. Yeah. Tubi added zombie strippers. A film starring Robert Englund. Yes, that's Freddy from Nightmare on Elm Street. And Jenna Pornstar Jameson. Yes, the very same. And of course, she's gracing the cover here of Zombie Strippers. Well, and I just happen to have a very short trailer for it.
A deadly... deadly virus has been unleashed into an underground nightclub. Now, every man's fantasy
You either got it or you don't, baby.
is about to become their worst nightmare.
They're zombies.
No. They're strippers. They're zombie strippers.
Robert Englund and Jenna Jameson.
For my sake, suck it up.
Zombie strippers.
There you go, folks. A nice 30-second trailer for zombie strippers. Now, here's the funny thing about zombie strippers. I don't know who wrote the oh boy. Okay. Maybe it'll not stop. There we go. All right. Check out this description. A secret government reanimation virus gets released into right-wing Nebraska and lands in an underground strip club where dancers become the undead. What the hell is right-wing Nebraska? What? Did I miss something? I mean, yes, okay, Nebraska may be technically a red state, but right-wing Nebraska?
Doesn't mean it's right wing.
Right. And not only that, but a lot of right-wing men go to strip clubs. They're trying to like say that it's like unusual that there's strip clubs. Are you freaking kidding me? I don't get that exactly. It's a weird description. Somebody put it, it just sounds like somebody revised the original description and had to put in right wing. I just know it.
Yeah, it's woke. That's what you call wokeism.
That's a woke description. Yeah. And it's just silly. It's like right wing. I'm going to right wing Nebraska. What the hell? Are you kidding me? In any case, I just thought I'd point that out. Of course, now we're getting classic. Oh, 13 Ghosts, man. When I was a kid, like, I don't know, 8, 9 years old, 13 Ghosts scared the shit out of me. It was one of those that had a profound impact because I'm not quite sure why. When you watch this film, now look.
1960?
It's 1960.
Yeah, I saw that in the theater then.
Yeah. It is William Castle at his possibly at his peak. I mean, oh boy.
Well, that's I think that was a different version.
That's just a commercial.
Oh.
Yeah, they run a couple of commercials online. I much prefer watching it on Roku, personally. But in any case, William Castle directed, of course. Martin Milner is in this. Really great. And the one thing about William Castle is that he was such a showman. There is a movie, and I think it's called Mant. What was that freaking... No. It wasn't called... There was... The Mant character was in the movie. Joe Dante made a film about his childhood, basically growing up, and I think it was in Florida. And John Goodman is in it. And it's all about the 1960s and the nuclear scare and everything. And there's a movie within a movie, and it's called Mant. And it's just the whole character, John Goodman's character.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's William Castle. It's his, Joe Dante's tribute to William Castle, basically.
And they're trying to revive a movie theater. It's about the movie theater where they're showing all these old films.
Is
that what I'm thinking?
No. This is in the 60s, in the heyday of these, where William Castle was going around and he was rigging the theaters.
Yeah.
stuff with the, you know, all the scary stuff for the movies. And
Right.
so they were all you know, it centered around these kids that would go to the movies. But there was you know, of course, what was it called? The Days in October, about the Cuban Missile Crisis. It was right there. It takes place right in that period of time in the early 60s.
Exactly.
And,
That's and Goodman is running the movie theater.
maybe that is it. Maybe that's the whole thing.
That's what I thought it was. It was during the Cuban Missile Crisis, and
yeah, but I can't remember the damn name of it. I remember that
Matinee.
Matinee, you got it. Thank you, Captain. He got it. Yeah, Matinee. And within the movie, they're showing this movie called Mant. Remember about the guy that becomes half man, half praying mantis?
Right.
It is hilarious. Oh my God. It's so great. So in any case, that's basically Joe Dante's loving tribute to William Castle. This is 13 Ghosts from William Castle. Just the master showman. Yeah, it's such a great flick. And I've got the trailer for it right now.
Listen to William Castle.
I'm looking for my younger sister. She went out jogging.
Listen to William Castle, whom the Saturday Evening Post calls the master of movie horror.
Do you believe in ghosts? I do. And you will too. When you come to this theater and see my picture, 13 Ghosts. No more dictation today. When you see 13 Ghosts, you'll be given a supernatural viewer like this, which will enable you to penetrate for the first time into the spirit world. It will let you see all 13 of our weird, wonderful, and wildly assorted ghosts.
Now, brace yourself as we take you across the threshold of our haunted mansion, where there's a ghost for everyone in the family. Father, mother, sister, brother. You'll be scared stiff too when you see what they see. 13 ghosts materializing in ectoplasmic color through the magic of Illusiono, the ghost viewer. The ghost of a lion in the basement. The ghost of a murderous cook in the kitchen.
Stop it! Stop it, I say!
The ghost who speaks through the lips of the living.
Death tonight. To one of you.
The evil ghost in the bedroom, fighting to take possession of this beautiful girl. You'll feel all the thrills and chills of seeing one ghost multiplied by the magic number 13.
Very cool stuff, man. You know, William Castle, The Tingler. I mean, you could go on.
Oh, that was a great movie with Vincent Price, man. That was great.
Yeah, and it's so great that Tubi is getting these films.
Yeah, and it's amazing. And it's I think for the most part, they're pretty much unedited. I mean, there's no editing going on in there. There's commercials, but they go right back to where you left off.
Yeah,
so
you're absolutely
editing.
right. Yep. And here, of course, we have 4D Man, which we talked about, 1959 sci-fi horror film with Robert Lansing, and he's really quite good. I highly recommend it. It's very interesting. The concept is really interesting. I just dig it. It's one of those movies that you always just, I don't know, it kind of struck a chord, like just the character, the scientist, and they stumble upon this quote unquote fourth dimensional type of element. And it's just trippy. It's a trippy film with a great lounge jazz type of soundtrack. That's the only way I can say it. So I highly recommend it if you're into classic sci-fi horror. 4D, man, is quite good.
You haven't seen the remake of that 13 Ghosts, have you, with Tony Shalhoub?
Yep, I liked it too.
You did like it?
Yep.
I didn't like it that much.
Yeah, I've seen it like it. I don't know, like
I
several
think it's because I'm
times.
comparing it to the original. I think that's
Right.
what I'm a little bit prejudiced in that concern.
Yeah, and it's that was the whole thing with me. I was just like, look, I'm going to separate this from the original because it's nothing like the original,
Right?
And just treat it as a new horror film, I guess.
I wish I can do that.
Yeah, I like Tony Shalhoub a lot.
I do too. Yeah,
I think he's quite good in it. There's a few other really good actors in that. Well, whatever you want. It's updating or modernization or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some good looking ghosts, man. A couple of those ghosts are just like freakishly good. But yeah, it's just, I separate it. There's nothing.
I try to do that, and I just can't. I just can't do it. I wish I could do it.
Well, can you now, Captain? I've got a. This is a serious question for you. Talking about being able to separate the classics, can you separate the original King Kong from the 1976 film Queen Kong? Because that's what we have right here, Queen Kong.
I haven't seen that.
1976 comedy adventure sci-fi. Okay, folks. Yes, it's real. It's an actual film, and I actually have a 30-second trailer for it.
In the latest pair of Jesus jeans.
I'm looking for my younger sister. She went
in the latest pair of Jesus jeans. We could tour around the Philippines together.
Oh, Queenie. Crown jewels. How extravagant.
Since everything's
But it's definitely not my colour, love. Sorry.
You would stop your yelling rain if I were just an ordinary household aide. We'd spend our nights in a grass shack.
Well, I sure like the music.
I don't even know what the hell. Okay. I haven't seen Queen Kong. I've seen parts of it. I've seen clips from it. I've never seen the entire film. I don't know if I will, but it is on Tubi, folks. If you're extremely adventurous, I guess you might check it out. But yeah, there you go. Now, this is the film that I was talking about. This is Stan Winston Studios' She Creature. Man, I'll tell you, the trailer, guys, I don't have the trailer. As a matter of fact, I don't think I've got the trailer to this. No, I don't. But check out the trailer on YouTube. I could not believe this film. The trailer is fantastic. A conniving circus owner abducts a real-life mermaid to feature in his freak show. On the voyage home, her terrifying powers come to the surface. Rufus Sewell is in this. He's definitely very well known. Gil Bellows. Reno Wilson. It looks pretty high end, believe it or not. And Stan Winston did all of the effects for it, and they look really good. So I am anxiously looking forward to seeing She Creature from 2001. Looks quite good. And for the capper for tonight, folks, as we've been talking about all night, we have the 1957 classic Curse of the Demon, starring Dana Andrews. Let's go to the page.
That's 78.29.
Oops. Here we go. Yep, directed by Jacques Tourneur. Upon learning that an ancient parchment brings death to its holder, an American psychologist in London secretly plants it on a devil cult leader. And that, is, of course, is Niall McGuinness.
Yep.
And what a movie, folks.
Great film.
It is absolutely incredible. It is now on Tubi. Put it on your list. If you've never seen this film, wow. Everything about it is top notch. The writing, the direction, the acting, everything is just beautiful.
You know, another movie you might want to consider for maybe the next show is The Wicker Man.
The Wicker Man is fantastic. You're talking, of course, you're talking about the original.
The original, and well, the remake was not bad either, but I am talking about the original, which was absolutely just fantastic.
Yeah, the original is incredible. Yeah. And of course, Britt Eklund, and with her, sensual dance. Let's put it that way.
Oh yeah.
Woohoo! Man, she is just red hot. But the whole thing is fantastic. I love that film. The one thing I remember about the remake with Nicolas Cage is that hilarious scene where he's wearing like a bear suit and he gets attacked by bees. It is just the unintentionally hilarious. I'm not even sure what the hell they were going with on that, but yeah, the original I love, and Christopher Lee is fantastic.
Oh man, he's always
in that
great.
film. Yeah,
he's never a disappointment. Never.
Oh no, yeah, he's absolutely fantastic. As a matter of fact, that's one thing I didn't show, but it is kind of an amazing thing. Just one more thing, folks. I'm going to scroll down. Here it is. This is an amazing thing about Christopher Lee. Okay. In the middle, we have Christopher Lee as Sherlock Holmes and the Deadly Necklace. Okay. That is a 1962 film where Christopher Lee plays Sherlock Holmes, right? Jump ahead 30 years later to 1992, and Christopher Lee is once again Sherlock Holmes in Incident at Victoria Falls. And guess who is Watson? It's Patrick Macnee.
Oh.
And what a combo, folks. Right there. It is a 3-hour film. It is quite good. If you like Sherlock Holmes, like really good stuff, you should check out Incident at Victoria Falls.
Is that on Tubi?
That's on Tubi.
Wow.
That is on Tubi, man.
Okay. Maybe that's something that my wife will watch with me.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a hell of a thing. What's really amazing though is that they got these films. Christopher Lee plays Sherlock Holmes in 1962. Then 30 years later,
he's playing him again.
He's playing him again with Patrick Macnee as Watson. Talk about a great combo, right there. So I wanted to show that to you guys because you may want to check it out. If you like Sherlock Holmes, I love Jeremy Brent as Sherlock Holmes, probably more than anybody else.
That was from what, 76, Jeremy Brent, when he did the Sherlock Holmes series, around 76, 77?
Yeah, he did. It was like several seasons, though.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it went into the 80s, right? I'm pretty sure of it.
But I loved him as Sherlock Holmes.
Or was it 90s, man?
No, I don't think it was in the 90s.
Here, let me just take a quick gander.
Yeah.
Because I just watched one that was Sherlock Holmes and the Last Vampire. And it's really good. Jeremy Brent. It's like a two-hour movie.
I haven't seen that.
Let's see. Sherlock Holmes. Last Vampire. There it is. That is from Oh, shit. It doesn't say. Oh, it says, okay, Jeremy Brent Sherlock Holmes was from 1984 to 1994.
Where did I get the mid-70s from? Was there another?
I don't know.
There must have been another Sherlock Holmes series in the mid-70s, 76, 77, and I got him confused.
I'm going to drop this. I'm just going to drop this in for the heck of it into the chat right now. This is the link on YouTube. If you want to watch The Last Vampire, Jeremy Brent, Sherlock Holmes, it's about 2 hours long. It's great. Oh my God. I mean, a lot of those episodes were so good with, in Watson.
Yeah.
You know, great actor playing Watson as well. I just love that series. But, folks, that wraps it for Tubi. We're just going to take another look at the chat and see who has chimed in before we bid farewell. Let's see here. Okay. Yeah. Trauma rhymes with aroma, but sometimes the aroma is good, says Steve Harrison. Indeed. Let Paint says experience the nausea. Michael Taylor, Demented Death Farm Massacre looks funny. It is. I thought it was amusing and sexy. Let's put it that way. Werewolf by Lunchtime. I just watched Blood Sisters in between comments. Brilliant. He also says, glad I'm not female. I don't want to be eaten by a tomato-faced tarantula-like killer creature. Indeed. Good God, man. Michael Taylor says, Britt Eklund was hot in The Man with the Golden Gun. Yes, yes. Yeah, she was in quite a few movies where she was either wearing a lot of revealing clothes or just naked. One of the two. Eric says, an eye peeping through a keyhole. I think we found Horror Mike in a movie. Steve Harrison says the halfway house went more than halfway. Oh, the halfway house went all the way. Okay, that's what I'm saying. It's pretty insane. Why Not Art 70 says a lot of these films have fantastic poster art. Yes, they do. Werewolf says it's amazing what you can do with pocket money these days, especially from the Catholic Church. Oh, God. Steve says a lot of the budget goes to box art and video rental days. Yep. Eric says, really good show tonight. Thank you, Eric. Well, I can thank the captain for that.
Thank you, guys. Thank you guys a lot.
Fantastic show.
Really appreciate everybody.
Yeah, it's been absolutely fantastic. What a great crowd. You know, I love these guys.
You did most of the talking, of course, but
well, you know,
you have to, because there's a lot of these movies I haven't seen, you know, and you know a lot about movies. About these,
and I have to kind of take the helm for the Tubi thing because I, you know, create my list and all that stuff.
Sure.
Hopefully, people will watch some of these because they got some good stuff.
Oh, I intend to watch
doing it.
I intend to watch a lot of this stuff. It's all on my list. Some of it's already on my list on Tubi.
Yeah, and you know, on Tubi, yes, they have commercials. I don't know about you guys. I just mute them.
Sure, you just
I just
mute it, you know, whatever.
What the hell, man? That's how I deal with that.
Opportunity to go and get some popcorn or whatever.
Exactly. Werewolf says, I take photos of the screen as reminders, Cap. There we go. Print screen. Eric says, oh, yes, the Twins of Evil. Good one. Oh, yes, those twins. No. Why Not Art 70 says, have you watched Strange Things Happen at Sundown? Vampires and Zombies. Huh. Yeah, I don't think I've seen that. I wonder if it's on. I'm gonna have to check and see if it's on Tubi, or see where it's at. Maybe it's on YouTube. Eric says, "Horror Mike, any progress on Werewolf versus Nudist Colony?" Only in my mind, Eric. We're still actually waiting for Werewolf to talk to Margot Robbie about playing the lead nudist in our film. Okay, that's kind of hinges on that. We got to secure our lead actress. Steve Harrison says, "I love the Jameson twins." Oh, yes. Eric says, "I'm in Nebraska." What the fuck? Yeah. Well, Eric, you're in right-wing Nebraska. I'm sorry to say. I don't know where the hell they. Who was?
He lives right in the middle of that town called Right Wing.
Somebody slipped in a Wokey. Let's put it. Oh my God. Werewolf says what Eric said, but be quick before my wife wakes up. Michael Taylor, Right Wing Nebraska. That's funny. I just don't know. Sadly, a lot of leftists live in Omaha and Lincoln due to the universities. Of course, I don't know where the hell they're getting this. Who wrote that thing? I don't know. Meyer says 13 Ghosts also scared me as a kid. Yeah, it just, it's one of those movies. That film and The Blob scared the hell out of me because The Blob was one of those things where it was like, well, you can't kill it. It can get through any crack, any door. You can't stop it.
I'll tell you one thing. After I saw that movie as a kid, and I didn't want to eat Jello for a long, long time.
Yeah. Especially when it started like jiggling by itself.
Oh,
man. Steve says Castle's Tingler was terrifying when I was age 6. Yeah, that's another great one. As we had mentioned, Meyer says, great show, guys. I had to step out, but I'm back in for the duration. Excellent. Eric says, you can buy Horror Mike's First Man on Mars Blu-ray on Amazon here. Thank you, Eric, for the plug. I appreciate it. Eric says, Queen Kong is a parody attempt of King Kong. Yeah, pretty awful. Yeah, well, yes. That is correct. Michael Taylor says, I'm sure a lot of people are looking for her younger sister. Whoa. Werewolf by Lunchtime says Robin Asquith was in many confession of comedies from the UK in the 1970s. Okay. A bit like the Carry On series, but with boobs. Now that's
like big boobies.
Yes. Boy, there's some big boobies in Death Farm Massacre. Oh my God. This chick has just got some honkers that will not quit.
She's
amazing.
Traffic stoppers, eh?
Traffic stoppers. Oh, yes.
Hindenburgs.
Yeah.
Watermelons.
Yeah, they're pretty much.
Gigantic snuggle puppies.
Oh, yes. Good Lord. Fun bags. Extra large, I would say. Werewolf by Lunchtime says, I have decided that I may have to watch that Holmes film with many toilet breaks. Well, it is an epic Holmes film, 3 hours long, but it's worth it, folks. I tell you. Easy Comic Reader says, thanks, gentlemen. Always learn something new. Thank you for being here, Easy Comic Reader. Michael Taylor says, great show as always, especially this one with the captain. Thank you, Michael Taylor.
Thank you, sir.
Steve Harrison says, great show, guys, as always. Good night from the north. Good night, Steve. Werewolf says, this show was so long, my wife woke up, and now she's making noise out of her mouth. Help. Love the show, guys. Have a great weekend from Lead Paint. Thank you, Lead Paint. I appreciate it. Overall, though, Nebraska is largely conservative, yeah, but not that darn far right. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. Far right Nebraska is hilarious. Eric says, everyone have a great weekend. You too, Eric. Thank you, sir. And why not Art 70 says, Mike and Hans, let me know if you see the movie Strange Things Happen at Sundown and what you think. I'm also in the film briefly as a zombie. That's awesome. Take care and have a great night, everyone. Good show. Thank you. Why Not Art 70? Excellent, man.
I'm going to look for that movie, Tony, and check it out.
Yeah. Strange Things Happen at Sundown. Fantastic. Well, show. Well, friends. Yes, it is.
That's
now
a blooper. That's a blooper.
We've been on 3.5 hours, Captain. Good Lord.
Oh,
what a show. What an incredible show. Thank you, Captain, for being on the show, and especially for this, marathon.
Yeah, I thank you, and I thank everybody for being in the chat and leaving comments, and it was great. Means a lot. Means a lot.
Thank you guys in the chat. Fantastic. Werewolf says, thanks for the show, guys. Look forward to next week. Sunday, Werewolf. Sunday. Now, for you, it's going to be like, I don't know, 7 a.m. If you watch Captain Strangelife's show, which is 7 p.m. Eastern time, but it will be 7 a.m. Your time in Australia. But try to catch it. And once again, folks, this is the key. You've got to send in your send Captain Strangelife an email with your YouTube handle in order to be entered into the giveaway. Okay, you got to do it, and by midnight, which means for me, that's an hour and a half away.
Yeah, it's the witching hour. For me over here, it's 2.5 hours away, I think.
That's right. Oh, all right. So it's going to be, you're saying it's midnight CST is your deadline?
Midnight Central Time.
So you got 2.5 hours, folks, to do it. You got to do it because you're going to love these prizes. Look, man, the odds are probably going to be pretty decent as well.
I might try some more stuff. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, and he may add some more stuff, folks.
I mean, I got a lot of doubles of all this stuff here. Look at this. Let me show you this real quick. Just real quick.
Oh, my God.
You got a...
oh, here, hold on. I'm going to remove this.
Yeah.
What the bloody hell is it? Those are all DVDs?
Those are all DVD horror sci-fi films, duplicates and triplicates when I bought out the store. And I got these for a song and a dance, and they're really great.
Wow. That's fantastic.
A lot of great stuff. So I might throw some of this stuff in, on Sunday. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
That is great, man. So. Excellent. And let's see here. Gary says, fantastic show tonight. Good night, guys. Thank you for being here, Gary. Fantastic. PBR Street Gang gives us massive approval there. Thanks for being here, PBR Street Gang. As always, Michael Taylor says, I don't think Captain has ever had a live show before.
No, I didn't.
So this is the first one. Sunday night.
Yeah.
Sunday.
Beautiful. 60 US drag strip USA or whatever it was. How did it go again?
That's right.
Sunday US drag strip 60 or whatever it was.
Yes. That was classic.
From the 70s.
Werewolf says, I will try, but may need to work. Okay. Well, maybe we'll see you there, Werewolf. Michael Taylor says, the only problem is I don't have a YouTube channel. That's okay, though. Looking forward to the show. Oh,
well,
how could he enter?
Well, just send me an email.
Yeah, just Michael Taylor. Just send him an email and just say, look, it's Michael Taylor from the chat.
Yeah, I know who Michael Taylor is.
Yes.
All you got to do is send me an email, Michael, and I'll put you in.
Yeah, just go to Captain Strangelife's last video. And he posts his email in the description, and just use that email, send it to that email, and just say, look, it's Michael Taylor, and you'll be entered.
Yeah. You don't need
that'll work.
He's
All
a
right,
regular
folks.
viewer. So. Alrighty.
That's it. Thank you, Captain. Thank you, chat. It's been a fantastic show. And I look forward to Sunday. Definitely. I will be there. I'll be kind of behind the scenes doing stuff. And
sabotaging me.
God. Oh, geez, Louise, man. Yeah. So it is once again, folks.
Take care.
Captain Strange Life channel. Sunday night, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Live show. Incredible prizes. Okay. So I trust that we will see you all there. Okay.
Take care, everybody.
Take care, you guys. And we'll talk to you soon.
All right.